when people don't have no type of shame to them,
Right.
Yeah.
I'm straight.
Oh
Ryder,
shit,
salute, Ryder.
Ryder, what do you do?
What up, dude? What up, mom?
Hell yeah.
Man,
Huh?
Your mic sounds in and out, Ryder.
Mine's?
And I see it sounded on point right then, just
No, it
right
sounded good
then.
there, but it was just. But yeah, you probably just mine. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, I said, what up, dude?
Okay, you're doing it again.
You in and out. You in and out. I don't know
What
what it
the
is.
hell?
Yeah.
Oh,
You sound
this
like
don't
you
felt
want
earlier.
a can with a string talking through the wall right now.
when you be trying to hit them high notes, those things go
Why
out.
not you try to give Mariah Carey on this? What you doing over there, right?
I'm chilling, listening to y'all. Just goddamn, I'm trying to catch up to word and what the topic is. Trying to get a little insight before I get.
Oh, y'all know, dude. We'll be back on topic, but when it's good combo, it's good combo. I gotta indulge, man.
Hey, man, yeah, I was like, I don't know what section of my brain was working, but it was working.
Oh,
I was in a different section of my whole brain right then, cause we were talking about some shit.
I was into it. It was like I was quiet the whole time when I hopped up on here. I was listening
to be honest, Mom, like this internet thing for me, bro, is like fucking Steve Irwin being on Madagascar. I get to see a lot of different personalities that I've studied over the years that I don't see in real life. I don't see this shit in real life, bro. I don't got people around me like this. So watching and studying people, I had to stop doing that shit too, though, because I'm a curious person, bro. I start putting stimulants in place. Like I ask them a question to get a certain reaction, and I'm like, no, I don't want to take it too far.
Yeah.
You start bonding with people and shit, the wrong people. Like I'm good. I'm gonna just watch your ass from afar, like a safari or something.
Yeah. Or either that or shit, just like how bro said, shit, just watch what you watch, period. Cause
yeah.
I mean, we ain't gotta watch, we ain't gotta eat shit to consume it. Is what you watch, is what you hear. Shit, all that shit.
Life food. That's 100% facts. The life food, man.
Mm-hmm.
The brain is always on. Even when you sleep, your brain is on. So you calculate and you know, you're doing so much kind of different problem solvings and equations and comprehension in your mind. While you don't even understand that, your mind is trying to literally think about questions you had last year, 5 years ago. Shit that doesn't even matter to you now will pop up in your head in a conversation when someone says the right word. It'll trigger that thought again. Like those are things that, you know, the brain is always in so many different multifacets, just doing something. It's even popping up images in your head of what you're seeing in real time, and then it's showing you images of what you can think about when you're thinking about it at the same time. At the same time, you can close your eyes and still see everything that's in front of you the same way you see it, but your eyes are closed. Like the brain is crazy, man. That's just alien.
And color though, and you put colors in that shit too.
Yeah. Well, alien. Yeah. I said, I got a bar. It says,
crazy.
My mind ain't even mine. Thought provoking every time I read my lines. You know what I mean?
Hold up. Okay. Hold up. Wait. Hey. My mind ain't even mine.
Yeah, I got a bar. I'm gonna make you here in a second when you get your. I got a bar.
I said my mind ain't even mine.
I said eyes wide open. The blind can't lead the blind. Wolves in sheep's clothing. In lifetime you seek and find. Probably design. My mind ain't even mine. It's so thought provoking. Every time I read my lines, fight or flight, sight on sight. Oh yeah. You got this.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. In that baggie. In the baggie.
Man, we got two lyricists on panel. How does Mike sound?
You three. We got
perfect.
You up here.
I like that mine ain't even mine, boy. Though that shit, that one, they're like, hey, that's
simple, but it gets to the point, you know.
Oh, stupid. Hold on, bro. Let me respect the money real quick. My boy showing out tonight. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate it. We'll go shake some backs. Let's shake some backs, y'all. Let me hit them with this lesson real quick. So when we talking about acceptance, right? And remind you, I use this. This was made for my shadow work project I was doing. So eliminate fear. We ain't gonna talk about fear, but acceptance looked like this. You got to acknowledge the existence of something and also acknowledge the impact it has on you. You know, that's accepting it. Okay, yeah, this is really bothering me, because if you don't accept the fact that something is an issue, you ain't gonna ever try to solve it or find ways to solve it. You just go deal with it. So you have to first accept like this is a problem. You know, I'll give you an example. So, did he ask for an example in the thing? Let me see if he had actions. Would I help him?
Nah, hit that nigga with a video game bar like how you did that last one. Cause I mean, it's more or less just like video games. You get stuck on that level, you can't get past it. You be gonna grind it out, figure it out, or not play the game no more and shit. That can become a habit. Don't nobody wanna. You don't want to make it a habit of quitting shit. Like, that's one thing I be on my kids about, bro. We start something, let's finish it.
And like what I tell people oftentimes, like people look at adversity as something bad, but it's really not. It's just an opportunity. You can use it a couple ways. You can look and see how far you came and see how far you got to go, or you can look at it as an opportunity of growth, right? To diversify yourself, to acquire a new skill, acquire new knowledge. That's all adversity do, is give you the opportunity to grow, to become better. You know, you think about it, like even in school, you go through the whole school year practicing all this stuff for what? The big test, to see if you pass. Right. Just like a video game, you acquire all these skills just to meet the boss. Now, if you don't acquire those skills before you meet the boss, if you don't get that armor or them special moves, you meet the boss, you mediocre. You ain't gonna be able to defeat it.
And you get why every time.
Exactly. So in life, it's not even about what you're trying to accomplish, it's the journey that you take to accomplish it, is where you acquire all the information and the knowledge and the things to actually obtain what you actually desire. It's the journey that's more important. And people nowadays, we're in a microwave society. We want everything instant, and we don't want to work or build ourselves up to stuff. Even when we're talking about frequencies, like everything that we ever desire is already ours. We have to match the frequency of it, meaning we have to match our belief level that we can even obtain it. People want to be rich, but do they act rich? Do they even believe they can be rich? This is just something they want.
Yeah, you gotta attract what you're trying to catch. You gotta be there. You get some shit you ain't ready for, you definitely gonna lose it.
So what accepting looks like is like this. This is one of the things that I was sitting back, and it gave me power in life. Right, it actually gave me power, not even strength, but it gave me power to realize like the position I'm in right now. If you look at where you at right now, if you can accept this, you can change your future. Accept this. Where you at right now is where you put yourself. It was through your decisions that you made prior to put you in the position you got now. If it's good or bad. But if it's fucked up, guess what? You did that. You did these things, put you in this fucked up position. Meaning that you can do actions today and put yourself in a better position tomorrow. So that's what I do. Every day I wake up. How can I put myself in a better position for tomorrow? I'm going to do the things right now so tomorrow I can be better off. Instead of living for the second. Like, growing up in the hood, bro, like, man, I'm not even going to tell y'all, but I made a lot of money. I don't know where that shit at now. Ain't no way in hell I could have blew that money. I'm just being real, bro. If I told you, y'all would be like, fuck out of here. If I told y'all how much, I'm talking about at one time.
No, I can believe.
That shit gone, bro. I got some $800 jeans. I got some jewelry left. And you be like, oh, I don't even rock that shit or wear it.
Yeah.
I got a pair of $800 jeans, bro.
That should be in style next year. Hold on to it. Take care of it. It'll be right back next year.
I got some red monkey jeans. I got some.
I'm not the red monkeys back on right now. You can put them bitches back on right now, bro. I
got 2 pair of those, bro.
Red
I got
monkey,
some
babe, all that shit back, bro. I just got some babe Crocs. Hey, to add to what you saying, cause I love what you was spitting right then, bro. it's to add to it, and being grateful. Cause a lot of people don't even recognize what they have when they have it, bro. I seen it was an IG reel, but basically the meat and potatoes was if you was grateful, if you went to sleep last night and you was grateful, truly grateful for everything that you have right now, when you go to sleep, what would you wake up with the next day? And I had to think about it. I started looking around and shit. Like, how much would really be in this house, and what am I truly grateful for? And it wasn't nowhere near like Thanksgiving Day, no type shit like that. It was just out of the blue, and it made me start thinking. And then, bro, that's when I seen everything that you just said. I seen how far I done came. I seen what I worked for. I saw everything. I saw everything that I've been through around me. And I'm like, you know what? Yep, time to start moving different today. And it wasn't nothing I talked about. I ain't had to have no big speech. No, hey, y'all, it wasn't none of that. It just started moving different. And it was exactly that. Just, I'm grateful for what I have, bro. So that's why it's really going to be hard for people to see me move or operate any different from what I got going on now. Either I'm gonna make what I got going pop, or shit, we just going off in the sunset real happy. Cause you know what I'm saying? Shit, if I lose anything, I'ma feel away. And that's how easy it could be. You could wake up and not have nothing that you didn't work for the next day.
I remember my grandmother told me, she said, stop worrying about what you don't got and be grateful for what you do have, because you keep focusing on what you don't have, what you do have go disappear, and you ain't gonna have that neither. And that's when I start beginning to understand gratitude. And Gary last night asked the question, well, how do you know when you blessed? Or how did you know how did you figure out you was blessed? And you know, people gave their answers, and I'm like, when I start being grateful, that's when I understood what I was, bro. Like,
you should have count them blessings when you know you shit. Yeah, hell yeah. It's easy to count them blessings when you can see where it's coming from, man. When you definitely know you ain't supposed to have that shit. You know what I'm saying? Without the work that you done did, or without the position that you put yourself in, like, man, I ain't nothing just ever fell right there to my hand, bro. I had to grind. I had to do something to get everything. Like, you know what I mean? Some type of exchange. That's why I appreciate genuine conversation with people now more than ever, bro. Throughout my whole life, damn near every last one of my exchanges with people has been transactional. You know what I mean? Not and it's very far few here and there in between. My family is in North Carolina. I've been on my own since 18. So hell, you know what I'm saying? It's been a whole lot of transactions, very, very minimal genuine interactions. So now at this point of my life, like shit, bro, we cool now, bro. We've been transactioning it a long time. Let's shit, bro. Is there any genuine people out this motherfucker?
Bro, I try to present myself as such, bro, and I got to the point where I ain't proving shit to nobody. It's just the consistency of me. If you can't see my consistency, it ain't meant for you to see, bro. I'm on that. Like you were saying earlier, bro, I got kids, man. I got people looking up to me, and it's like, I'm gonna come on here and I'm gonna do my thing. Like, I'm gonna have fun, I'm gonna motivate, I'm gonna educate, I'm gonna inspire, and that's just the way of the 9, bro. Like, when I created the 9, they like, what's the 9%?
Yeah, put me on the 9. Put me on the 9. I was seeing them put the 9 in the chat. I was like, oh
bro,
shit, that sounds cool. Put me on.
I'm gonna tell you, bro. It's deep. It's deep. There's a lot of meanings to it, but the basic meaning is right. It's our catchphrase right here. Better you is the better us. The better we are individually, the better we are collectively. Now we do that in different ways, but everything is about self-development, right? So we just trying to be better people, not just for us, but for the future. You know,
That's
we got to be
that's
the
hard.
examples. Yeah, we got to be the examples in that 9, bro. Like my brother broke it down yesterday in Hebrew. The 9 mean truth. So he did a live saying the truth will set you free, or the 9 will set you free. But that 9 is the number of completion and the number of new beginning. It's also the number of humanitarian. You know,
Okay.
it's the number of wisdom and knowledge. You know, we fuck with numerology. Like I'm on 33,
Do
a
too.
master number 33. So
Okay.
I have the potential to be a master teacher. So that's what I'm leaning into that. You know, we got 9s. My boy Stoke is a 9. My homie commander Rachel's a 9. You know, we got some 9s on the team too. But it's just about our actions, bro. We ain't gonna talk about it. We're gonna be about it.
Mhm.
You know, we're here to help. We're here to enlighten, and that's what we do, bro. That's what we do. That's why we got our own little corner, our own little sector. You know, we got sports, we got beats, we got a whole bunch of little different things we putting together. But it's just
I
a new
respect that.
vibe, a new way. We gonna be the example, you know.
I
And we
respect
had,
that.
bro, we be having some difficult conversations, and you know, I'm big 9, so I be the one, you know, who mainly had those difficult conversations. But
Hey,
I'm built for that shit. So you know, we all got, we got catchphrases and everything. Let me put this up. Where is it at? The 9 is the league of extraordinary individuals who decided to come together, use their various talents to raise the level of consciousness and promote self-development. Each has their own channel. That's just something we rocking with. Like, it's something we live in, though. You know, people talk about it, but like if you watch, even what you were saying, a lot of, bro, if you go through my playlist, I be talking about some crazy stuff. I get into the spirit. I use philosophy, psychology, religion, and spirituality to teach life lessons. You know, I'm here to share information. If
let's
people can
get
use
there,
it,
bro.
you
I
know, they
like
can
that.
use it. You know, if they can't, then they can't. You know, like when I lost my eyesight, bro, I didn't know what I was gonna do. But I'm like, man, I inquired all this information over the years. I done practiced. I done been in, not no YouTube debates. I'm
What?
talking
Hold
about
on, whoa, bro. So you ain't even gotta repeat yourself or elaborate. I heard what I just heard. What I ain't tripping. You said what you just
yeah,
said.
I'm legally
Okay.
blind. I can see out of one eye and barely can see out of
All
that.
right, got you.
Yeah, but that don't stop nothing. Bro,
Nah, it really don't.
I
Got
done been shot and stabbed, been on life support. I'm still here. So until the creator say hey, it's time to go, I ain't done. I got some more damage to do. I'm here to fuck up the way people think, bro. I'm here to shift that shit, bro.
Nah, I know your mind. I know your mind is definitely on a different level at this point.
Yeah, bro. I done seen it
Yeah, I know.
all.
Yeah, I know you pretty sharp, boy. I know you. I know you pretty sharp, my nigga. I'm here to learn for sure. I'm telling you how you was kicking it. That's why I had to hit the link, G. I had to hit the link. Like, hold on, man. It'd be one thing to just sit and ghost watch the whole motherfucking time, but shit, you know, fucking let me get in here. I ain't doing nothing but kicking up my damn self. Had to take a break off them, you know what I'm saying, off job number, whichever one. Whichever one of these, you know what I'm saying? Keep our hands in a couple of different pots and make it happen, man. But dang.
And that right there stole your trials and tribulations, bro. Man, without what I've been through, I wouldn't be me, bro. I tell you
Big
now,
fact.
man. Like life is about perception, man. We can look down or we can look up. It's all a choice. So I mean, there's no negative without positive, and there's no positive without negative. Even when good things happen to you, sometimes you don't see the negative effect until later, and then you be like, "Damn, it was a negative aspect to it." But they all exist in the same space, bro. You don't have one without the other. So
Right.
when things bad happen, it's actually something good happening too. It's just you experiencing the bad, and a lot of times we can't see the good. Like even me losing my eyesight, bro, I wouldn't be on here with y'all, bro, on some real shit.
Right.
I'm just being real. I never did that.
Right.
I'm out in the world, bro. I've been shaking and moving. That's what I
Man.
was used to. Real estate, life insurance, bro. I was eating good, but I lost my eyesight, and when I lost it, you know what I realized? I wasn't spending that. I got a wife, I got a kid. I was out trying to make money. I wasn't really enjoying, and this is what I always wanted because I didn't grow up with my mother and father. You know, they was young when they had me. So I grew up with my grandmother. Then I moved to the D with my mom. I didn't have my dad. So what I always wanted in life was a family. Like I wanted the white picket fence, bro. I got a picket fence in my backyard, bro. My house
Man,
is
I watched
surrounded with a
Home
white
Alone
picket fence.
growing up too.
You know, I got
You know,
that,
I
bro.
watched Step by Step, motherfucking Family Matters and all. You know what I'm saying? Nigga watched all that shit. Yeah, hell yeah.
And through all that
Yeah.
hustling, bro, I wasn't even enjoying what I worked for. And now I have no choice. You know what I'm saying? But this is what I wanted. So it's not really bad. It's an adjustment. But I'm a bad motherfucker in the first place. Bro, all that martial arts and shit, I
Hey,
don't even really need my
man,
eyes
what?
to see. All that shit I experienced in a young life, bro, prepared me now. Like I got a cane. I ain't gonna tell you what's on my cane, but I fell around. I'm used to that, bro. I
Man.
mean, it's like let me respect the money real quick. What didn't we play?
When you get 500,000 or better, boy, get this money. Would you get this money? Boy, get this money. Would you get this money? Boy, get this money. Would you get this money? Boy, get this money. Get this money. Get this money. It was like.
Hey, every time I play that, man, I gotta say shout out to Blade, man. Shout out to the Icewood family. Bro, if y'all ever watch like any Detroit sports and y'all see him do them two elbows rocking up, that's Blade, bro. He originated that. Shout out to Blade, man. Rest in peace, bro.
Yeah, one time. One time for all the bros, man. One time for the bros.
Yeah, but without them trials and tribulations, brother, man, we wouldn't be nothing. I
Right.
mean, think about a sword. That shit forged in the fire, bro. That's what we are. We're swords of life, man. We got to get forged in that adversity.
Right.
When they say what don't kill you make you stronger, bro, that's like with muscles, man. To build muscles, you got to rip that shit up. You know, you got to tear it up, bro. And
Man.
when it rebuilds itself, it's even stronger than before. That's what we are. We big ass muscles, man. Y'all got to flex that shit.
Damn.
Flex that shit, not shake your asses like Stoic said down in the comments.
Bro, I be on that shit. People be asking me, like, I mean, people who know me, like, they be like, damn, bro, you strong as hell. I don't look at myself like that. Everything I go through is necessary, bro. Like, what about the people under me? You know, they gonna have to go through some shit too. And if they see me bowing down or cowering out, what you think they gonna do? No, it's necessary. Like even my elders, bro. When I heard what my OGs went through, I'm like, damn, man, y'all been through some shit. Like my grandma, she telling me how she came through that Jim Crow era, that redlining, like how she had to fight to get up north.
Man, can you imagine coming up in those days, bro?
Bro,
I
man,
don't think I'd have made it. I don't think I would have made it, bro.
Her uncle got snatched out the house and hung in a tree in front of their house, bro. She had to experience that. You know,
I know I wouldn't have made it, man.
Yeah.
Times different, bro. Times different.
It's different. And that's why I say I'm blessed, bro. I'm blessed I ain't got it. They went through that so we wouldn't have to. So I'm gonna take full advantage of every opportunity. Stoic, what up, Nine?
Hey, what up, though?
Hey. Big Stoic. What up, though?
Hey, what up, Mob?
What
Hey,
up,
man.
bro?
What up, Stoic?
Hey, these first 2 hours, you guys have been spitting so much fire. Hey, a lot needs to be clipped. A lot needs to be clipped.
Yeah, I think bro got a classic, man. I'm sitting here listening to him learning all kind of shit.
Stoic. Let me ask you a
Racheal,
question.
what up, though?
Are you on this plane? Are you on Earth? Or are you like in another dimension? Word's been on an hour and a half. He said, "Can I get some of what you got? Because I think my weed not working."
Oh,
no,
I got
wait a minute.
I got you.
We
I'm
hey, bro, he did say 2 hours though. He definitely did.
I'm looking for 2 hours.
It feel like it's been about 3. Nigga, hey, to be fair, it feel like it's been about 3, but
woke
time
me
go
up.
by fast when you know what I mean.
You know,
I'm like,
bro,
where
and
the other
I
30
too,
minutes
so
at?
we on that time differently, bro.
Mm-hmm.
We like a day
That's
ahead
right.
of us.
Yo. I think he got me in cloud 9, yo.
Yeah,
Oh, my
hey, that
bad.
man
Rachel,
in a good place.
I'm wherever Rachel's at. That dimension. Wherever you at, Rachel, I'm there.
I need to be there because I think you made me lose 30 minutes of it. I'm trying to figure out where to
Yeah.
go. You said 2 hours, an hour and a half. I was like, damn, am I time traveling backwards? I was like, I think I need to do
Go
this.
for the highest number.
My bad. Glass half full.
Man.
My bad.
I have a question. I wanted to ask, should you feel guilty about your trials and tribulations?
What if feeling guilty gonna do?
Mm.
Nope.
Acceptance. Acceptance.
Nah, guilty is when you feel guilty, bro, it's hard for you to accept it. It's gonna be harder for you to accept. Like what happens, bro. You know, guilt is one of them things I don't even deal with, bro. Because you start beating yourself down.
Yeah.
It'd be harder for you to accept it. Like, okay, look, I fucked up, I need to fix it. And just fix it. You see what I'm saying? If you fuck up something, you ain't got no time to be guilty. You gotta fix it.
Mhm.
So no, I don't personally, I don't do that guilt shit, bro. That shit have you silent. That guilt leads to different emotions, bro. You get sad, you get
For
depressed.
sure.
All this. No, I'm straight, bro. It's some shit. I don't even do sad, bro. I rather be pissed off and mad than sad. Because when you sad, you go into that depression, anxiety, all that shit. When you mad, bro, you be ready to do something. So you can
Yeah.
transmute that into something positive. But going to those guilt, um, depression, anxiety, sadness, all that shit is useless, bro. That's rock bottom. That's what you consider rock bottom, bro. So I don't fuck guilt, bro. If I do something I fucked up, I'm gonna correct it.
Yeah.
That's you're accountable. If accountability is on your mind, then you ain't got no time to feel guilty.
I feel
You
like
can
that's where your
Yeah,
morals
yeah.
and your values and your principles come in. You know what I'm saying? Boundaries too, as well. You set boundaries for yourself, and once you equate the morals, principles, and your values in the mix, you know what I'm saying? You're not gonna really do nothing. You're not gonna really do nothing that you can't stand on or be accountable for. And one of those things should be the basis on what you're standing on. You know what I mean? Anything past that is like shit, we know better, we grown. You know what I mean?
Like you can acknowledge you did something wrong without feeling guilty. You know what I'm saying?
Fact.
When you get that feeling, shake that shit off as quick as possible. Get out of that state. Get into the okay,
That's
correct
why
my
everybody
action
like
state.
that's why everybody like when Mike Epps say players fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Players fuck up.
Mhm.
Everybody love that for that reason right there. I mean, accountable people like that shit.
Mhm.
It's funny. You know what I mean? Yeah, shit, I fucked up on that one.
I'm
It
gonna tell you
sounds so
this
funny
too.
because people don't say it, man. Everybody got damn fake perfect. Ain't nobody perfect out here. It's nobody.
Uh,
Nobody is perfect, bro.
check this out. Progression over perfection, bro. That's what I live by. Progression. I'm just trying to move forward. Fuck that perfect shit. You ain't nothing perfect until it's finished,
Hold
right?
on,
I
you
ain't
said
finished until I'm
progression
dead.
over perfection.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. God damn it, that's
Yeah.
hard. That's hard. I
Yeah.
like that. I like
Progression
that.
over perfection, bro. Anything I say, bro, is you. I ain't one of them people, bro.
No,
I ain't
that's
one of
true.
them people be like, oh, you nah, bro. That shit is like, I'm here to spit game, bro. I'm here to share information. Everything I got, man, I'm trying to get it to you, bro. I
You
can't
know
doubt it.
what? You know why I
I
like
can't
that so
doubt
much?
it,
Because
bro.
I'm a fan of evolution, bro. And if something is perfect, then it can't evolve. It's perfect, right?
It can't.
You can't get
Yeah,
no better
it's
if it's
done.
perfect.
Yeah, it's done.
So we always seeking. Oh my God. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
never mind. Could yeah, somebody
Hey,
got
Rachel.
motherfucker. That's hard. That's another bar. I like that one.
Another bar. What you got to say, Rachel? Should you feel guilty about your trials and tribulations?
Nope.
Elaborate.
No. I mean, what you've been through in your past made you who you are today.
I'm gonna leave you with this too, folks. You know, guilt is one of the things people look for to open you up to manipulation. Guilt will open you up to be manipulated.
Mm.
I got on my chest, bro. You can see. Well, I ain't gonna show you, but it's my old. I ain't even gonna say that. It means a lot to me because if I say that, then I'm divulging too much information. Motherfuckers can Google it and look it up. But it says pain is weakness, death is inevitable. Something I live by, bro. That's my mantra. You know, you go through
Yeah,
pain, but if you show it as a weakness, bro, and being feeling guilty, that's a weakness, man. People will come in and manipulate that shit, bro. Manipulate you. You leave yourself open to manipulation with those lower vibrations. That's how them demons come in, bro. All them demons, jealousy, motherfuckers be jealous. They be possessed. That's demons, bro. That's acting in
yeah.
these emotions or these feelings. That's demonic shit, bro. That's why I don't fuck with it.
Mhm.
Mm.
Demonium.
Yeah, I think yeah, so how do I say? It takes time, you know. I think you
Yeah,
have
it's
to
a
go
process.
through certain stages in life to realize this, yeah. It took me a while.
Yeah,
It took me a while actually, and I'm only seeing this now, right? You're talking about demonic and all this. I can see it in people now, right?
yeah,
I can
bro.
see, holy shit, I'm amongst people who are like that.
Man, we should
Yeah.
see demons in people. Online, offline shit. They come out. They
Oh,
can't
for
wait to
sure.
bust out.
Man, they look, bro. I'm gonna
Yeah,
tell
I
you. I
call
was
your. Hey,
Oh, go ahead, bro. You got it.
yeah, I was just Rachel had a live too, and she was watching something about some horrific stuff. But yeah, you know the news that they televise with certain offing people, what and whatnot. It's coming out, right? It's kind of horrific. Hey, Rachel.
Wait till I break this shit down with the three type of people on this planet. I'm gonna be like, you know, shit, bro. I'm telling you, man. I've been studied so much shit, and all this shit is the same. Is just explaining it in a different way. That's why I use psychology, philosophy, because using all those different aspects, you can decipher information to people easy. You know, Rachel might understand from a religious aspect. Mom might understand from a psychological aspect. You know, Phil might understand from a philosophy aspect. And Frankie might understand from a science aspect, you know, so I can deliver the information to anybody, bro. I pride myself on being a translator.
Well, they said to change T-Move. They said, can they get your other mic?
Missing Mod, what up, though? Hey, Missing Mod, I was gonna tell, look, I was in Missing Mod chat earlier.
Want to do it on her channel. They ain't want to disrespect nobody, but I'm gonna tell you what I'm about to tell you. My proof of evolution is white girls getting booties. That's my proof.
Wait, what? Hold up. Wait a minute. What? Wait. What just happened? This conversation just went fucking philosophy. Wait.
BDB, what up, though?
That's the best. That's the best. Yeah, that's the best.
Well, salute BDB. What up, man?
Mr. Miles was talking about evolution. I was like, "Can I tell a joke?" And I'm like, "Nah, I ain't gonna say it because you know people over here know I ain't got no malice in my heart." But I was like, my proof of evolution is white girls getting booties. That's how we know the human race has evolved because they got
Oh
no
shit. But y'all saying that white girls never had booties back in the day?
They used to wear the little.
Point, no.
No, they used to wear them things. to impersonate booties, the little cage thing under their dress to
Oh,
show
I
they
don't
had
know
a
if it was the pants or
He said
what, man.
cage under the dress.
Mr. Mind. Mr. Mind, what you trying to say, Mr. Mind? You got I ain't about to say I'm married. I'm gonna be quiet. I'll let one of the single guys say it. She said I had proof this whole entire time.
But wait, so Mr. Mod is also that person that's saying that
I
humans
don't
are
know if it was
evolving.
the pants or what. At one point they did. Yeah. At one point it was bad.
So if we're evolving, what are we evolving to?
But nah, man. Hey, I'm gonna hop back in the chat, y'all.
Hey, real
I
quick,
appreciate
though,
you, bro.
Mob, you heard
Man,
Mob?
I'm gonna be back. I'll be back.
He said, "I'll be back. I'll be back." Shout out to
Take care.
salute.
Y'all make sure y'all go check Mob Only Uncut out. Bro is you enjoy yourself over there. He know how to put on a show. I wanted to talk to him about his setup, bro. His setup is dope, bro. His setup is dope.
Check them out, especially if you're into beats and music and stuff like that too.
Hey, word, y'all can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, bro.
Yeah, I
Let
just
me
want to
turn
add.
you up a little bit.
Nah, it might be my mic. I turned it down earlier. Y'all hear me now?
We hear you. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. That sounds like the Verizon.
What was that commercial?
The Verizon dude, right?
Yeah, it was in every corner, every house. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I'm like, yo.
But I wanted to say something with the way his comment went earlier was with evolution. He said once something evolves to perfection, there's nothing else that comes after it. And it actually is. It just becomes the opposite and it starts to deteriorate, right? Because we could turn a great thing into shit. I've seen it so many times in life where people have a good thing and just don't know how, you know what I mean? They'll have something set up for them, it falls in their lap, and they don't know how to, like you said, they take it for granted. They don't have, you know what I mean? So that's kind of a way you can kill something that's perfect too, by not being, like if that makes sense. You understand what I'm saying?
De-evolution.
Right. Well, what happens is
Devo.
it's at a, once it's at a good state, because nothing really stops evolving, right? And that's why I was gonna ask you, like, the fact that the creator, right? If they say there's God or we're just creator, why didn't he just put us to know and understand how to harness fire? Why did we have to learn so later on through so much, cold nights and rainy days, and you know what I mean? Like, why did we have to learn about the will so much later on in history? Allegedly, right? This is what his story tells us. I'm just saying, it's a question. Why did we have to go through so much trial and error? Like you said, I mean, I understand the tribulation part, right? You have to, that's what builds character, right? That's what makes you know who you really are, being able to go through adversity, right? But why have to make us go through that, right? And not just give us the insight or the knowledge right there, right? Or make us go through years and years of struggling to learn, all right, this is how you harness fire. This is how we can keep warm at night. This is how we can see in the night. You know what I mean? This is how we can hunt in the night. Why? This is how we could ride. This is the wheel. This is how we could roll around easy and get further. We don't need horses and stopping every fucking 25 miles to feed them.
I can answer that two ways. I would say one, there would leave no room for creativity if that would, we would have no, there would be no reason to have creativity. But to go deeper, I will have to go into more ancient texts, and we have to talk about the demiurge. It was a reason Adam and Eve was put in the garden. There's a reason there's two creation stories, right? First creation story, God put man and woman together into the world and told them to go forth and be fruitful. The second story was Adam was created in the garden and Eve was made out of the rib. Adam was not meant to go out into the world until after Adam ate the apple. That's when Adam got pushed out the garden.
What if you don't believe that stuff, though? What if you don't believe in the Bible? Like, I don't, you know what I mean?
About Lilith before Eve, right? So what's the story there?
Now, even saying Lilith before Eve is two things that we have to understand. One, that came out of the Dead Sea Scrolls, right? Mm-hmm. So that creation story was a little different. And if you look at that creation story, Lilith and Adam was created simultaneously, right? So Lilith wasn't made out of Adam's rib. Yeah, it was made from the clay. So Lilith wasn't made out of Adam's rib. So Lilith wanted to be with God and not Adam. You know, she felt more connected because she was actually created before Adam. Lilith was it was the woman made first, and then Adam was made. So she felt like she was God's first creation. So she should be with God and not this man. You know. But going back to what bro said, even if you don't believe in the Bible, the reason why I feel I'm just personalizing it, but the reason why I feel the Creator, he just gave us the opportunity to be creative, to expand consciousness. You know, if we already knew everything, it'd be nothing to figure out.
That's liberating, right?
Yeah,
That's the truth.
But according to the Bible, right, wasn't Prometheus, right? I think that was his name, the one that taught mankind how to, you know, do make fire and all that stuff.
Stole from the fire, yeah.
So now you're talking about the fallen angels. When you get into that, that was a rebellion too, because those fallen angels didn't understand why God didn't give the humans certain things, and they wanted to play God. So they went down and gave the humans things like arts, weapons, fire, and stuff like that.
Those were like
But
according to
even
the
though, but see, this is not only beef, you know. Like if we talk about the Bible, I'm cool. We can talk about like parables and allegories, but if we go talk about like creation, I got to go back further than that because that Bible is incomplete and is limited, and it's stories taken from older stories.
Yeah.
I would have to go back further than that to even talk
How
about
do you
like creation.
how do you think the guards perceive humans? Are humans special?
How do I think God perceives humans?
I think
Yeah.
there's something. If you real quick, just to answer I think there's something special about us as a collective. But I think and all in all, we were probably like a workforce for something greater. You know, maybe something more because we're still evolving, in my opinion. But in 250 years from now, we'll be something totally different because we're all organic. You know what I mean? So it's definitely going to be. But I feel, in my opinion, like we're something together as a collective. We're greater. You know, we're more powerful. But individually and tribalistically, we're fucking horrible. We're just like the animals that in the wild.
We are.
We can be so mean to someone else just because some other group of people
Because
tell
they're
us
different.
yeah, because then just
They're
because they
different.
don't accept or believe or laugh at the same joke that you made or any little thing that we feel that we would want to you know what I mean, to excommunicate them. We can make those people become the enemy, the boogeyman, and we see it all the time in so many scales. You know, like it's a crazy thing when you get in those cult mind things and you got people like, you know, even just the word followers and you know what I mean, those things. Those are like words that play into your subconscious, in my belief, you know. And people that like say you're supposed to be responsible as a content creator, right? But some people really on this shit be thinking like, nah, yeah, like the people that are subscribed to them are their fucking less thans, or like they're their, you know, like
Bro.
like they're minions or something. Like, dude, we're watching you because it's content. We want. Sometimes people really watching just to see you crash out. This shit has become the Truman Show. You know what I mean? They don't care about what you got. They want to see what you know. They want to wait for the phone to ring and your baby mama curse you out on live, or you know what I mean. They want some shit like that. Like, you know what I mean? Reality TV on YouTube. Like people more into like the, you know what I mean, the superficial things in life. I think. If that, I don't know where I went with that, but that's what I felt.
You good, bro. No, you good because you're right on point. Because like even that's why I created this environment. I don't exclude nobody. I don't care where you come from. As long as you good people, man, and you got good intentions, I rock with you. I don't exclude. I'm not on that black power shit. I'm not even like gay people. I ain't got a problem with them. I ain't got a problem with trans people. I ain't got a problem with nobody, bro. Unless you got a problem with me. Other than that, we good. We can build, bro. What you eat don't make me shit. So
But
I
that's the thing.
mean,
They don't feel like that about you. You understand me? You're
No,
going in there with
no,
open arms, but they don't feel like that about you because there's so much systematic conditioning and programming, so much, you know what I mean? Especially now with all the tension and everything, they don't feel like that. They already got an image and they already got a persona attached to you once they visualize you. Once the optics hits the brain, they already know they're thinking one thing. You know, and it's sad to say, I'm talking about anybody too, not just any person specific. You know, once you people are so used to judging the book by its cover now, which is kind of you have to do it now. But that's what happens after a while. So many times, you know what I mean? You start thinking, all right, because he got a hoodie on, he might be up to no good, which don't always mean that in some cases, right? But to me, at 10 o'clock at night, and you got all black hoodie on and you're walking through the streets, yeah, I think you're up to no good. That's just my opinion. But it might not be the case.
And see, with me, bro, that's where people get frustrated. Like, just in real life. Like, I frustrate people because they can't put me in a box, bro. They can't identify what I am or my views or none of that. My shit is abstract.
I
I don't,
understand what you're saying, word, like, because that's your perception, right? That's what you
yeah.
feel. That's what you believe that they are believing. But what I'm saying is that it doesn't. I'm not saying it's not like that. And I know you. I'm not saying how your life is, but I'm just saying there's always different places and different parts. You know what I mean? Of this place of a world, the world period where people don't have the same. You know, they might not be. You might not see it on them. You know, they might not say it in the open, but you know what I mean. They hold a disdain, right? You know what I'm saying? Just because of who you are, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I don't say like to say anything rude or disrespectful, but I'm just saying, you
No,
know,
that's
that's
not.
a fact. That's a fact. You know, there's sundown towns
Yeah,
in America. You understand me? Just because you the word
yeah.
and you preaching life coach and shit, they don't give a fuck about that. After 7 o'clock, if you
No, they
outside, they
don't
don't
care.
give you the word. You know what I mean?
Hey, bro, I know what you're saying, bro, because that's what I'm saying. Like, they try to put me in this box, and then when they put me in that box and they come at me, and then they see, like, damn, this box ain't working for them. They can't
Same.
contain them. That's when they get frustrated. But now everything you're saying is fact. People got a preconception of who I am and how I am. And once they see different, they be like, damn, like, well, where do I put them? You know, and
Exactly.
that's how you keep people off balance. But
Right.
that's even if people take the time to try to figure it out. Because like you said, most people ignorant, bro. Most people are sheep.
Oh,
They
right.
train. They function off of preconceptions, stereotypes. That's just how they function, bro. That's like
Yeah, you
even
get
like
to
when when people hear my wife ain't black, automatically this or that, and it's like, bro, I don't hate black people. I don't believe in no black community, but I love the people who look like me. I love everybody. You know what I'm saying? But I do love people who look like me. That shit represent me. It's a reflection of me. I'm gonna love myself and I'm gonna love the people who look like me. But that don't mean I hate anybody else. Just because I love me and love people, that don't mean I gotta hate nobody else. I can show love and respect to everyone. You know, a lot of people can't do that, bro.
You're right
a
there.
lot of people. Yeah, you get through in life where there are certain stages where you meet people, and once you start accepting and you have the awareness and the action, people need to start meeting you where you at, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's what we do as our role here in life, right? Because this world is evil, right?
Right.
It's not a surprise that this all this is happening, right? This evil stuff and hating each other, calling out each other by their skin color, hate in general, right? So there's a certain stage where people are at where you kind of conquer all that. And where we at now is very different from the general society, right? So, and that's very tiring, right? Having to deal with people like this every day, you know, if you live in the city and whatnot. And yeah, to be strong really means to be vulnerable, right? You can't. I find myself going off at people who are like this, and I catch myself. This was years ago, but the awareness, the action, and the acceptance. So that's why I come here online, basically.
Nice. Stoic, I got a question, right? Because you said something and it just like something triggered in my head. And would you say that all of the stuff that we're going through right now in these times, 2025, right, is all
Yep.
part of a big evolution? Like maybe this is all something that it has to be, right? We don't understand it, so we see it as hatred, right? We see it as, but maybe this is how it's a grand scale of a chemical imbalance, right? To make things out, to try to wean it out, I guess, to make it a better place in the future. That makes sense. Would you consider this all part of evolution, maybe that, and we just don't understand it?
I think this world, you can't destroy this world. It needs to exist, right? It's a part of something we can never know, basically, but we can speculate, right?
Right.
Energy shifts, imbalance, people trying to correct it, people not. Who is who in this this time of apocalypse, right? We are going through an apocalypse, and if you break down what apocalypse mean, so this world will always have tension between the forces, and I think we are very lucky to go through all this, man. We're seeing the world fall apart. That's amazing.
And that's a good way to put it.
Ozzy, oi, oi, oi.
Oh, Kieran here. What up, Kieran?
I didn't see him in the chat. Oh, sorry.
How you all doing?
Doing
What
great,
up,
brother.
Kieran?
Doing great.
It's good. To hear it. Glad to hear it.
But was it Mob? Mob, was it? No, was that you, Blanco? Who was I talking to?
Yeah, that was
Frankie.
me, Frankie. Who's Mark?
Frankie.
Mob was with her earlier.
Oh, right.
Frankie, your question. So, what do you reckon?
I think it is. I think, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this is just my opinion. I think duality of everything. So I think there might be a right and a wrong to everything I say. But I feel like we already been here. I feel like this is just a replay, if that makes sense. Like we're going back in our timeline and we're already ahead of ourselves. But we were able to manifest so like the zero energy and all the stuff that we're thinking about now that might be later on. We're already past that,
Yeah.
right? Those things coming back allegedly, if people are saying, and they can only certain people can see it, they can't record it, but those things are probably, in my opinion, are us coming back to see what life was like at not even normal. Let's just say at what changed it, at changing points in history, right? What was a significant pivot point in history? Like now, even back then when they said in the 60s during the Cold War, you know what I mean? All over the 50s or whatever it was, the 40s, pardon myself, I'm wrong, but those things are like changing events, pivots in history, right? It probably was going back even to back in ancient Texas and days and like that. We don't really understand what it was, But I'm just saying, I feel like we're ahead of ourselves and we're coming back,
Hey,
going through a timeline
you
like
reckon?
on your Facebook, you know what I mean? If that makes sense.
Right. All right. So you reckon Jesus has already come? The coming of Jesus already happened?
I don't
What do you
believe
reckon?
I don't believe in Jesus.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. What does the story mean to you? The coming of Jesus. How do you
I think
interpret that?
I already said it before. I think it's all allegoric and it probably more with constellations and with celestial stuff than anything, if you ask me.
I'm with you. Parables, right? Parables.
Of course, they do make you great. The Bible is basic instructions before leaving Earth. That's the acronyms, right? I mean, you can take it for what it is. If you say that,
Okay.
these placebo pills is making you better, then go ahead. You understand me?
Yeah,
True.
I would
Yeah,
tell
true.
people if it make you a better person, rock out with it, bro.
Right. It's all in the mindset, right?
True. That AAA.
You need nobody else to believe in what you believe in for you to be great. That's one thing I learned.
It's just like the placebo pills, right? They gave these people sugar pills and water, and people really got better because the mind, you know what I mean? It's bigger than just
That's
us.
right.
The mind is so overpowering. It could even
That's
deceive
right.
you and make you think that you're sicker than you are, and make you feel weaker than you really are. It makes you feel greater than you really are, makes you feel stronger than you are. You know what I mean? The mind is crazy, unbalanced.
And it's hey, and the body is crazy too. What the body will put up with is crazy, right? But it makes sense why people are dying early. But you know what I mean. If you get in touch with the body, I think the body will go on for a long time, right? Past 100 years old, past 200, I reckon. The body wants to live as much as the spiritual.
I think
Well,
the mind will live longer, in my opinion.
Yeah. I formed an opinion over the years that I used to be right into mind-body connection and, well, first of all, the mind-body split, which began with Descartes, God rest his soul. That was a stupid idea. And then this new era where we talk about embodiment. So We don't have a mind separate from our body because we express ourselves through our body. But I think there's one. I've kind of come to the conclusion there's one layer above that. You have the body, you have the mind, but there's something else above that, and I think that's where it's at. Don't ask me to explain it, but I think.
What's the label for it? Does it have a name? That third one?
Maybe the nearest thing that, if I can use common vernacular, the nearest thing would probably be something like a soul or the will.
Mhm.
It seems to me that.
Somebody's soul, bro.
Well, if I can go to bed at night and I put my head in the pillow and I can tell my brain, we're going to dream about this tonight, right? If I can instruct my brain what we're going to dream about, which I can, that means there's something beyond the brain that's actually calling the shots.
That's right. That's right.
Right.
Now, Tyrion, check this out, and I'm gonna let Wall hurt. All right, we ain't had Wall hurt.
Ah, Wild Heart, good to see you, my brother.
But check this out.
Hey,
Do you know that we both into psychology? That's why I like talking with you. But we both in psychology. Do you know the origin of the word psychology? Do you know what that meant?
Sorry, just let me. That might be on my. I just let me say the same then. Sorry, go on. Sorry.
Yeah. If you look at the etymology of psychology, it'll tell you it's the study of the soul. As psychology evolved and progressed, they turned that the soul, they equated the soul with consciousness. But the original psychologists who began the psychology were studying the understanding of the soul.
Yeah, the word, I don't know if it's just me, but your mic is like really spazzing out on my end. Is it me or you?
I'm having
That's
trouble.
me. That's me. My bad. Can you hear me a little better now?
A little bit, like 5% better.
Yeah.
Hey, let's throw some money for Word to buy a mic.
No, this is my
I walk outside and walk away from my computer. Lose some sleep.
That's better. That's better. Much better.
Cool. Okay, so what I was saying, the etymology of psychology is the study of the soul. And as psychology evolved, it became study of the consciousness or the mind. But it's interesting, like when you were saying 3 parts, because even in ancient Kemet, they told us about the Ka, the Ba, and the Akhmet. And that was the 3 levels of the spirit. And well, they equated it all to soul, but they separated to physical, mental, and emotional. Like when you study the study of the soul in ancient Kemet, it was the mind, body, and soul. So it was our consciousness. You know that old saying, the mind is the seat of the soul, meaning we have to combine our soul, which they equated to emotion, with our mind, which they equated to spirit and consciousness. When we combine those two, we can better act in the physical. That's occult science. I can take y'all through that too, though.
Okay, yeah. All right, let me ask this. How many eyes do we actually have?
Physically 3, because the pineal gland, the pineal gland has the same property as the eyeball.
We have 3 eyes. We have 3 eyes.
Well, they call it the third eye, but it's not actually an eye. I know what you mean. Pineal gland. It's not actually an eye.
It has the same properties of an eye. But
Wild heart. Can you imagine a butterfly?
Yes.
Okay, you saw that, right?
I can imagine butterfly. Yes.
No, you saw it. That's your third eye.
If you close your eyes and see something, then you feel things with your eyes closed, so you use some form of eye, which is the mind's eye. That's how they explain in ancient Kemet.
Yeah, the word, your mic's gone crazy again, bro. You were right in the sweet spot before, but it's gone crazy now.
Oh, y'all go ahead and rock out for a minute. I'm about to get my patience up. I'm about to get my THC up.
Sorry, I'm struggling. Did someone just ask me if I can imagine a butterfly?
Yeah. Can you imagine a butterfly?
Yeah.
Can you see one? Can you see one?
No,
Can you see?
no.
Well, let me ask you this, Wildheart. So you can imagine a butterfly. What color is it?
I can imagine any colour butterfly I want.
What's the one you're seeing right now? What color is it?
Why you look up like it's in the room?
Yeah, I'm not actually seeing. That's the difference. I'm not actually seeing the butterfly.
I'm waiting for like a Disney butterfly to fly by or something.
Yeah, I can imagine any colour butterfly I want, but I'm not actually seeing the butterfly. So
Bro,
I
you
can't.
stubborn, man. You stubborn, bro. You just were you full of semantics, man. I've seen you on panel a couple times, and you just want to be harsh all the time and get pushed back. You know what he's talking about. It's common sense. You said yes, I can imagine butterfly. He said, "Do you see it?" I said, "You said yes." Whether or not you see color or
No,
not, you see.
I didn't say I could see it.
You did, sir. Listen, sir. I pay attention, to sir. I didn't speak, sir. You said you seen it, and when he started mentioning colors, you started to get pushback because now you knew he had you and it got you moving.
No, you said, "Can you imagine a butterfly?" I said, "Yes." And
Right,
then
sir. Yes means yes,
see a
right?
butterfly, and I
Oh,
thought
man.
you meant, "Can I see a butterfly in that? Can I imagine? I can't actually see a
Fair call,
butterfly."
fellas. No, fair
It's just,
call.
that's
No,
just a
fair
natural
call.
character. I thought you was acting like
Yeah.
an
No, it's okay.
alternate persona, but no, this is just you, I guess. I see now.
No, fair call. No, fair call. Hang on, Wildheart. I'll steel man your position. Okay, I'll be on your side. We asked him, "Can you visualize a butterfly?" And he kind of said, "Yes, I could if I wanted to." And then we acted as though he's doing it right now, which he's not. So that's kind of fair enough. He said, "I can if I want to, but I'm not going to for you. I'm not a dancing monkey." That's fair enough.
Semantics.
That's fair enough.
Everything after that semantics. Once he says yes, it doesn't matter what he says after that.
That's not semantics. Semantics is about language, whether you can imagine.
Well, here's something that will blow your mind. Wildheart. Here's something that will blow your mind. I know what you're going to think about.
Yeah.
Next, before you do.
Go on then.
You're going to think about blue elephants.
No, I'm thinking about pink elephants.
I like your style, man. I like your style.
Yeah.
Good man.
Wildheart, come on, man. Come on, Wildheart. Come on,
No,
Wildheart.
I'm thinking about pink elephants.
Exactly.
You said-
Exactly.
So he's wrong, isn't he?
So Wildheart, what's the fetish you have with pink elephants, bro?
Hey, Wildheart, I want to say something real quick without you being offended. Sometimes when people don't check you on your bullshit, it's because when you argue with a fool from far, they both look the same. So sometimes when you say things and people are not correcting you or saying something or giving you, because they just don't want to argue with you because they know you're going to keep doing this. You know what I mean? You're the best tap dancer I know. I swear I'm going to get you some shoes.
No, when people
I'm still going to come in. I'm still going to come in Wildheart's defense. Still going to come in Wildheart's defense. We're all hanging on. We're all clinging on to reality. We're all clinging to the best we can, and we're trying to control things, and we're trying to navigate. We're trying to have some agency. That's fair enough, bro. That's fair enough.
I'm sorry.
No, I like the way you put that. I respect that. By saying we clinging to reality and trying to make the best of what we have in front of us. I respect that more than I can actually, concede to that. I like that.
Sorry,
Yeah,
I'm just
Hey, Wildheart.
sorry. I'm just trying to be honest. If someone says something that I think is wrong, I'm going to point out why they're wrong.
That's okay. That's perfectly fine. But opinions, facts are facts. You just got to remember that. Like when it's opinion based, you can do that. But if it's factual based, you shouldn't be like that. That's just my opinion.
Right. So, what is the fact that you are claiming?
Yeah, exactly.
No, that was a question. You can't say yeah, exactly. What is the fact that you are claiming?
Exactly.
Hey, Wildheart. Are you growing? Are you growing spiritually?
No.
You don't have a spirit to grow in. He will tell you that. He don't believe in that.
I don't believe
I'm just saying. He don't believe in spirit. But see, okay, now here's the fact that was stated, Wildheart. Here's the fact. The pineal gland has the same properties as the eyeball.
Sorry, your microphone's gone dodgy again.
Does the pineal gland have the same properties of an eyeball?
Sorry, I'm really sorry. I'm not.
The makeup. The third eye is basically has the same makeup as an eyeball.
makeup. It might have the same makeup, but if it
The
doesn't,
material, the flesh of the third eye is the
might
same
do,
as an eyeball.
but an eyeball is defined as something that can see, that is used for visual.
I
I
want
think
to. Go ahead,
pineal gland
Sure.
How come you not understand
Let
that?
me have this one, yeah. I'm coming back to the mic. Let me have this one. This one easy work for me. Okay.
Okay.
I'm-
Let's
It's easy
go.
work, bro.
I can't. Sorry, I can't understand what you're saying.
Bro, you about to understand me. I'm about to get back on the mic, bro.
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay, so you the fact that the pineal gland has the same properties of an eyeball.
It might have the same physical properties of makeup, but I thought an eyeball was defined as something that could be used for visual,
Okay.
to see
Okay, we get that, we got it right there. Okay, as long as we get that understanding. So when we talk about visual, is it possible for someone to close their eye and still have images in their head?
in their head, yeah, but that's not seeing. That's not using an eyeball to see.
That is using an eyeball. I'm telling you, that's the reason you're able to do that is because you have a mind's eye, which is called the pineal gland. And if you study ancient, I'm talking about like Kemetic or what y'all call Egyptian, they tell you what happens when the eye or when the pineal gland decalcifies. Just like an eyeball, the pineal gland calcifies. And the more calcification it has, just like an eyeball, the less you can see. So this is why a lot of people are spiritually dead, because they have a calcified pineal gland.
Right, I've just looked up the definition of eyeball. It is the round part of the eye of a vertebrate within the eyelids and sockets.
Hey, I got a question when y'all get through this. I just want to ask you guys.
2 eyes. The pineal gland is not an eye.
You sound like Ben Stiller.
But
The
the pineal gland is a pineal gland. This is what I'm telling you. The pineal gland is a pineal gland. I'm not saying it's an eyeball. What I'm telling you, because of the same properties it has, it functions differently. It doesn't give us physical vision. It gives us internal vision. But you only notice if you practice, like common science and common religion, you don't practice spiritual things. That was back in the ancient days. So unless you put these things to practice, you would never see the benefits or what it actually has to offer. This is why I always tell people to put stuff in practice. Do you meditate?
So can we get the eye thing sorted out? So it's not an eyeball, which is what you originally
I've never said it was an eyeball. I said it's the mind's eye. That's not me saying it's an eyeball. What I'm telling you is it functions as an eyeball within the mind.
Maybe I can help. Yeah, Lion, I'll try to help you land the plane on the eyeball thing, right? The eyeball is not really what sees.
No, it's not.
No, it's a mechanical object. For example, there are more nerves running from the brain to the eye than there are running from the eye to the brain, which means our brain is telling us what to see more than the eye is telling us what to see.
But that has nothing to do with whether the pineal gland is an eyeball or not.
Now,
he was trying to make a distinction between organs. That's all he was doing, right?
Yeah. I never said the pineal gland was an eyeball. I said it has similar properties. Understanding why it has similar properties.
I mean, every part of the human body has similar properties. They're all made up of similar materials.
Not true. It's all got DNA. It's all got not true.
Yeah, that's not
Word
true.
and Ozzy, I got a question still when you're done.
Sure.
You go.
No, I don't know if y'all really want to sit down and try to break down the eye to those,
No, I ain't about to do all that.
This guy, and then he's just not gonna. He's still gonna reject it. It doesn't make sense for you guys to waste the breath. But if that's what you want to do, I just got a question. Do you guys believe your gut is your second brain? Like, do you believe that?
Well, given that 30% of my neurons are in my gut, yeah.
Good job.
Yeah.
Great answer.
I agree.
It also has to do with, well, the reason why I brought it up is because, it's intuition, right? Sometimes you get a gut feeling, right? And that thing is so connected. Like you said, it's connected to a lot of your brain's neurons and all that too, as people don't know that. But there's something more divine to that, in my opinion. It's more tapped into the ether, if that makes sense, where your gut can see things for what they really are, and your brain sees it for what they seem to be, if that makes sense.
You know that you know that the ether doesn't exist.
You still thinking about butterflies?
No.
Yeah, do you know, Lionheart, like Lionheart, do you realize that you don't exist, bro?
He said the ether don't
First of all,
exist.
it's wild heart, and you know that the ether doesn't exist.
Do you exist?
It don't. But see, this is what you got to understand, brother. And I hate a lot of the ether don't exist to you because I'm just being honest. You're not part of it, bro.
Not to me. It doesn't exist. It was a mistake. They didn't understand how things travel through space, so they called it the ether. The ether doesn't exist. It's not a thing.
I thought ether was what they used for anesthetic, bro.
Oh yeah, that kind of ether does exist. Yeah,
that kind of ether.
The ether he's talking about.
But see that concept is older than science. So you're using people who wasn't tapped in or couldn't tap into something to try to prove something. That's why a lot of times people don't believe in God, because they don't have no connection. They can't connect with these religions, but either some atheists will say, I know it's something out there, I just don't know what it is. They just don't connect with none of these religions to say it's God.
But can we tackle one point at a time? Can we all agree that the ether doesn't exist?
What about
it don't exist to you?
But
what would you consider dark matter? What would you consider dark energy? What would you consider the space in between the stars and allegedly?
From ether to dark matter. Can we all agree that the ether doesn't exist? Can we all agree?
No, it doesn't exist to you.
Oh, you want to agree with my opinion, but you want us to agree with yours.
I agree it doesn't exist to you. I agree. I can concede to that. The ether does not exist to you.
Not
to you.
I can agree to that.
Not to me.
I'm with that. I'm with that notion.
Yeah, no, it exists to me, bro. I'm in the ether. I'm 9. So
that's what
I know it exists to me.
Dictates what happens. People don't understand. Even if you believe in the laws of power, like manifestation, right? You have to affirmate it to the ether, to the universe, whatever they want to call it.
Right, bro.
You have to put it out there in waves, right? Everything is frequencies. If you're not knowing, everything is vibrating right now. Everything. So you know what I'm saying? It has to be put out in frequency. So there's something that responds back to you, right? Whether you want to call it whatever, you have a name for it. It might not be ether. It might not be whatever names we use. I understand that. But there's definitely something. Can you not agree to that?
He don't believe in, bro. He don't believe in God.
No for that blue butterfly. I swear to God.
Anything that he can't touch or see, he don't believe in. He only got 5 senses, bro.
Sorry, I've just Googled, does the ether exist? And it says no, the ether does not exist. Google
Thank you, Google. Yeah.
Hey, Google how long you're going to be alive. Like Google tells you everything. Go ahead. Google how long you're going to be alive. Go ahead. Tell me.
Really?
Yeah, because you believe everything you're Googling, right? See, there's some things you just got to know, man. You see what I mean? You're one of those, I got to see it to believe it, probably, right? You got to.
5 senses, bro.
Right. You're really like borderline NPC on God.
How many senses?
Are you saying the ether does exist?
How many senses do you have?
Many. I think there are about 30 or 40 senses.
You can name more than 5?
I don't know them all, but
name
I
me
think
10. Name me 7. Name me 7.
I can't name them all, but I think there are 30 or 40.
Can you name me 5? If you know about 30, you should know at least 7 or 10.
No, just 6. If you know 6,
if you
then
give me 6, I'll
yeah, sight, sound.
This is stoned.
You enjoyed just being ignorant?
No, I'm sorry. I apologize. In the bad decorum, I apologize.
Sight, sound, smell, taste. But there's also Like, you know how you
Windows 9.5.
polarizing the balance. That's a kind of sense as well. And I might not have the numbers right, but there are about 20, 30, 40. I'll Google it. It's
Google it. Google it. How do you bring up an argument in this guy?
35, bro.
Yeah,
Windows got 35, bro. I'm
hey,
telling you, Google is
better than
35.
for you, bro.
Sorry for
So
trying to be
extent
correct.
Windows 9.5. That's fucking hilarious.
How many senses do humans have?
Oh
You
shit.
get five.
It actually says 5.
Hey, Google how many bots are on YouTube. 50%. I think 56% of the people on YouTube are bots, allegedly, right? I think you're one of them. I swear to God, I think you're one of them, dude. You're a plant. You're sent here to do this on purpose. I'm telling you.
You mean because I disagree with you?
With everything, though. You don't even disagree with me. You disagree with everything. Like someone can make the point that you don't understand and they make it as plain as day, and you still say, I don't get it.
Because you're talking bullshit. Can I swear on your channel?
Google it.
It's because most of what you're saying is bullshit. If you're talking bullshit, I'm going to disagree with you. I'm sorry. It's not my fault.
That's fair. You're
But
supposed
if what
to.
he's saying is bullshit, why are you there? I never understood that from people. If they don't agree, you see where I'm coming from? Like, if you don't like what they're saying or their opinion offense, why do people stay there?
No, this is another thing, too, real quick. Lionheart. No, sorry, word, my fault. But there's 6 of us on the panel, right?
Yeah.
4 of us are saying almost the same exact thing, right? Maybe there might be a chance that you might be misinformed or you don't have the full, So you guys sometimes slow yourself down instead of saying no, being wrong and strong. You can't be like that sometimes. Sometimes you have to say, listen, let me sit back, collect my scruples, let me Google it on the low while they talking, and then I can check and I could shut them up. But you still looking for that blue butterfly, my brother.
That's what I've been doing.
So then how do you shut it down though? But you're not explaining nothing. Like
you just call me a bot because I disagree with you.
No, yeah.
And I Googled it and I was
you
right.
With everybody though. You've been disagreeing with Word for like 3 weeks.
Walter, you disagree with everybody, bro.
Right.
Y'all might be having us on a trip to Mexico. How was y'all vacation?
You got to say I like Walter's style, disagreeing with everybody. I respect that. I respect that because almost everybody is wrong, which is fair call. But you have to make a distinction between people who are wrong and people who are right. Every now and then you come across some people who are right. You got to drop the contrarian thing and engage with the conversation. Because
I'm not being contrarian. If you're right, then I won't say anything. I'll agree with you.
You don't know what's right to you.
But let me ask you this: what's your? How do you acquire knowledge? What is your epistemology? How do you acquire knowledge?
Epistemology of knowledge. I use my brain to look at the universe, like sense things, taking knowledge, taking information from other people, basically taking information that I can verify.
So basically, do you function on a level of knowledge? That's what you function off of.
Not 100% certainty. No, it depends what you mean by knowledge.
Would you say like everything you know is known because of the way you acquired it? So what I'm getting at is you don't pursue wisdom. From your description, you don't pursue wisdom.
What's the difference between wisdom and knowledge?
I have an answer for that.
I'm gonna give you a formula for it, and then I'm gonna let you rock out, Ozzy. I'm gonna give you a formula for it. It's knowledge practice over time.
Does knowledge what, sorry?
Knowledge practice over time. Meaning practicing, putting into practice what you know over time will gain you wisdom. But I'm gonna let Ozzy
Australian guys just making a noise. I can't understand what the guy's saying. Ozzy, can you mute when you're not talking, please?
Yeah, Lionheart, I'll tell you what wisdom is. The difference between knowledge and wisdom.
He asked me a question, but I couldn't hear it because
I'm pretty sure he threw to me. I'm pretty sure he threw to me. So just be quiet for a second. Yeah. Okay, so knowledge is knowing that a tomato is a fruit. Wisdom is knowing you don't put tomatoes in a fucking fruit salad.
And why do you know that? Because you practiced it, seen the shit didn't work, so you tried something else, right?
Correct.
Wisdom is knowledge practice over time. So what I'm getting at is you have to start putting what you know into practice. That's why scientists, what do? They test. And all you do is sit back and look at what these smart people say, and you say this is it. But if you know anything about information, it changes over time because we acquire different people practice it different ways and find nuances within information. That's why so many theories have changed over the course of time, is because it's been people putting the knowledge into practice. Just like when we talk about these spiritual concepts, these are things you can't physically see, but you have to experience. If you don't experience, you will have no wisdom nor knowledge of it because you're not even practicing it. Googling is okay, but I will even challenge you on your sites. Like, where are you getting it from? You can't Google one thing and say, okay, Google said this without giving me at least 3 references. And then I want to see the author of those references if we want to get into academic shit, right? That's how we cite things.
I presume that you believe in a God. Can you give me 3 sources?
Now see, you keep going to that same thing. Can I give you sources? My belief is not a belief, brother. I keep telling y'all that I know because I have experience with the creator, with my creator. I have deeper understanding.
I'm sorry, I'm really interrupting, but you cannot say that your belief is not a belief.
I can. I just did. I
mean, you can say it, but you can't. I mean, your belief.
I'll help you out.
Your belief is a belief.
Yeah, I'll help you out. There are times to be a teacher, and there are times to be a student. Right. Okay, and you seem to always want to be a teacher, but there are contexts where people appreciate you, people love you, they like having you around, but you should be a student a bit more than being a teacher every now and then.
I'm asking questions. When someone says my belief is not a belief, that is logically impossible.
I didn't say your belief is not a belief.
Definitionally impossible.
When did I say your belief is not a belief?
You said my belief is not a belief.
No, I said I don't believe in.
You said your belief is not a belief. That is logically impossible.
How is my belief not a belief? You're hearing to respond or to react. You're not listening to comprehend. You're not comprehending. I don't have a belief. If you ever listen to me, and you can ask anybody in the chat, I don't believe in shit, bro. I know things. Belief is to accept something. I know things is to know, and my experience is the factual evidence of what I know. Is my own personal experience. And people who practice,
it's not worth it going back. But I'm sure you said your belief is not a belief.
No, I've never said. I don't have a belief to even say that. That's what I'm telling you. I don't know why it's so hard for people to comprehend that you can't put your limitations on me. People are stuck in this ideology of belief. I don't do it at all, bro. I evolve beyond that. I know things.
Yeah, bro, I get that. So the thing is, Lionheart, every now and then you meet people who have walked the walk, right? And that's the time to become a student. Yeah, people talk the talk, and some people walk the walk. And when you meet people that you can recognize they walk the walk, you could learn something.
And it's easy for you to see that, Kay, because you walk the walk in life, so you know how it looks. But when people haven't been, you can tell like a lot of his interactions are like in real life. I'm pretty sure certain rooms he can't sit in, right? So certain kind of conversation he never heard. I had the privilege to debate people who within Scottish rights. You understand what I'm saying? I had the privilege of seeing information and being recruited, even though I didn't accept. But they show you things to entice you, you know. So like when I even talk about different occult Sciences, I learned that through experience, not some book, not Googling, through physically
Yep.
seeing and practicing things. So
I
when
got
you
you.
do that,
Your mic is
when you
chirping
do
when
that,
the word talks.
when you do that, you get a whole different concept of what exists and how it exists. You know,
Well,
information. I'm sorry.
well,
Go ahead.
yeah, the word maybe I'm going sideways, but it's how my brain works, right? So imagine a couple who they're both 65 years old, been married for 45 years, and they need marriage counselling, and so they book an appointment with a marriage counsellor, and the counsellor is a 21-year-old woman. Are they going to feel confident? Like, she can bring all the data, she can bring all the education, all the studies, she can tell them all the things that everyone knows about everything. But are they going to feel confident with this child who's going to tell them how to fix their marriage?
Nope.
No, of course not. Because what's happened in our society is that age is no longer respected. You know, the ancient Greeks used to talk about, my beard's long. A long beard meant you've been around. You've been around. You've walked the walk. And so the young men would listen to the men with the long beards. It seems to be gone from our modern society. There's no respect for wisdom.
Can someone?
No, it's not.
Someone shut this old man up, please.
The word.
Melanie, Melanie,
Can I
good
just?
to see you, bro. Good to see you, bro.
Let it begin, and it shall begin.
The word. Can you just share my screen, please?
Share your screen. What's on your screen?
Okay. I'll just go back 5 seconds.
While we're doing that, can I have a quick moment to say something?
The same thing. Can I give you sources? My belief is not a belief, brother. I keep.
What you just said was my belief is not a belief, brother.
I finished playing it. No, finish playing it. I said my belief is not a belief. It's me knowing. I know things. That's what I said.
But that doesn't change the fact you said your belief is not a belief. Can you understand
It's
how
not
that's
belief. You're missing the point. The word. You're missing the point. The word is saying the word. No, hang on, bro. Hang on. The word is saying I know things. That's a powerful statement.
No,
that's a powerful statement, bro.
Ozzy, shush.
Do you? Let me ask you.
What he just said is what I said. He said his belief is not a belief, brother.
Correct. He knows it. It isn't a belief because he lived it. Because he lived it.
Belief not be a belief. It wouldn't be a belief in the first place.
I got a question.
Let me just say this, and then I'm gonna let y'all rock out real quick, brother. There's a difference between understanding something and comprehending, right? You know the difference. Like comprehension is is understanding what a person is conveying. So when I say my belief is not a belief because I know, I'm telling you, belief does not exist to me. But you have to listen to the rest of it in the context.
But you're saying your belief is
not a belief. Doesn't exist. It eliminates. My belief is not a belief. Eliminates belief. Can we be a belief? Saying now, listen to what I'm saying. My belief is not a belief. That eliminates the whole concept of belief. Does that not eliminate?
I don't think he cares about the law of identity, Wildheart.
Yeah, Melanie, just be quiet for a second. So, Wildheart, listen. I'll explain it this way. Remember the movie, The Karate Kid? Hang on. Remember the movie, The Karate Kid? Okay. Wildheart, you're trying to learn karate by reading a book, and you're speaking to Mr. Miyagi. He's right there.
That's a fucking bar, Ozzy.
If someone says my belief is not a belief, they're just wrong.
It nullifies the whole concept of belief.
By the way, I have a much smaller point.
Shape and form. If someone says my belief is not a belief, then it's not a belief.
Okay, Wildheart, we hear you. Just give it. Let Melanie speak for a second.
Go ahead, Mel. Go ahead, Mel.
Sorry, Wildheart. 1 second.
Thanks. Yeah, because you mentioned the person going to the couples therapist, and I didn't want us to get too removed from that. And I wanted to point out that I think experiences, even within similar groups, can collide. And I get that age and experience can be a thing, but I think experience
Ozzy, you gotta
plus.
mute up, Ozzy. Your mic is bebopping when they're talking. It's bleeding through.
Yeah, I think having experience plus the academic background is even more valuable than just experience or that academic background alone. And I don't think we can fault the new therapist for having to start somewhere. But that's more of like a personal thing. In general, though, like with what Kieran said about age, I've met a lot of older people who say the darndest things. Let me tell you, I had a foster father. This man was like at least in his mid 70s. I don't even remember anymore, but he was old. And he was watching CNN one day, and I just sat down next to him to watch it with him. And he turns to me and he says, "You know, all of them Muslims, 99% of them are terrorists." And I was like, oh, I'm like 14 and I don't pay attention to the news actually. And even I know that's ridiculous. So I think, respect your elders, but also use some critical thinking. That's all.
It's a fact.
Yeah, so Mel,
Yeah, I can work.
no, I think you're right. I think you're right to make a distinction between, age does bring wisdom, but also some people age immaturely. Like I've met people who are 70 years old and they're still immature. But I think in general, we have a lack of respect for age. We almost have a disdain for it, which I think is a problem. Right. But I do hear your point. You had a weird uncle. We all have an uncle who comes to Christmas and who's racist, right? That happens, right?
That's one way to view a foster dad, but yeah.
I didn't. It wasn't about you, bro. I wasn't speaking about you specifically. I was just.
Well, I wanted you to.
You wanted me to. You wanted me to. You wanted me to give you attention, love.
I feel like people are like set in their ways after a certain age, and being older, seeing 40, 50 years of your life the same thing. It's times that change, from what they were. Yo, somebody's mic is chirping. It's messing up the content. I don't know. I think it's Ozzy.
I don't think so.
Yes, I can see his screen pulsating, no homo, when they talk because it's bleeding through. But anyway, I said people when they get older, as they get older, their minds stick to like that mindset. Once you get to like 50s, 40s, you kind of feel like you know it all. You feel like and it's not like that really. Like everything is changing right now. As me being a person of a certain age, if I don't adapt to what my kids are into right now, I'll get left behind. And I make this joke sometimes. You ever see those guys out there and they're like 67 and they still got the Kangos with the sweatpants with one leg up and they still got the boom box house, like they still got the rope chain. Like those are people who get stuck in that, you know what I mean? In that time in their life, I guess, or whatever, where there was that their pinnacle or their prime, like they don't want to let it go. You know what I mean? If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So like, they're stuck in that time loop where they like, I'm supposed to be dressed as a businessman or maybe, something more, cleaner, and they're out here with leather jackets and fucking, Kangol hats.
But so can you blame people to? No, hang on. I'll go first, and then
because you're older, right? You get to go. That's it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So, can you blame people for wanting to hang on to the paradigm that made their life make sense when the world changes so fast? Can you really blame people for just trying to hang on to how they grew up and what they know? Or should we?
We can barely hear you, man. Your mic's going in and out. I think you might want to rejoin or something. I'm not just saying that so I can talk. Just
no, it's okay.
Hey, word. Are these trolls? Like not Ozzy, but Wild Heart a troll? Like is Wild Heart just naturally like a troll?
Wild Heart's a little strange. It's okay.
Wild Heart, he got some stuff going on with.
Are you autistic?
He mean well.
No, I'm fine.
He mean well.
It's just the last thing I remember is me pointing out that you said your belief is not a belief, and then someone came up with 70-year-old, and I'm just trying to figure out what's going on. That's all.
My dude, you're focusing way too much on semantics. Is all. I think you're missing what he says.
That's a semantics word salad type of guy. I'm telling you.
It's okay. Some people are. They're logical.
I mean, it's nothing wrong. You're right.
They're logical people. The word. I think I kind of want some clarity too, though, because when if someone asks, like, is this your opinion on something, or do you know it? I think we're in an era now where you can't just deal with like handed down information as easily, like even from the media, right? Things are so complex. And we also know more because of science. So traditional knowledge only gets you so far with that. So I wonder if it's easy to say, like, I think it's important to make this distinctions between belief and knowledge, and that's kind of what Wild Heart's getting to. Because if you know something, if you're sure of it, like that, there's a degree of error, of course. Like I say, I know things, but I haven't tested them personally. I'm just, I've seen things that rely on those principles, and how else would they work without it? So it's more than a strong belief. I'll put it that much. And so in a sense, I get where you're coming from. Like you can't totally test every assumption you make, but at the same time, how do you have a method for checking what you know? Do you do that regularly?
Yeah.
Or is it...
It's through my practices. Like even when we talk about so I'm gonna answer your question with well, I'm not going to ask that. So when we talking about wisdom, right? And that's why I use the phrase wisdom versus knowledge, because wisdom is applied knowledge over time.
I'm starting to hate that word the more I learn, but it's okay.
Yeah, but it's applied knowledge over time. So I think who's that popped back up? Okay.
Sorry, I accidentally knocked myself out. Come on.
Oh no, that's cool. So how I know things is because if we want to use a philosophical term, empiricism, right? It's through my practices
and epistemology. I think you're going to say that, and that's also right.
Yeah, that's how I acquired it, through empiricism. Experience is through empiricism. So it's what I practice. So even for someone to check what I know, you have to practice. That's how I got to it, right?
Would this be the sort of thing, just to clarify, and I'm just asking because I can think of an example in my head, like say you're an excavator operator, right? And you're taught all the right ways to operate it, but one day you encounter a problem and you make a bunch of assumptions based on what you know, and then you kind of have to test it out to get the job done. Is that kind of like real world experience that you're talking about?
Yeah, so like even when we talk about like Native American culture, right? They have a lot of stories that people may find unbelievable until they go into a sweat lounge and then they have this experience and they're like, oh my God, I've seen that so many times. But it's through the practice that people learn it. Like even having spiritual experiences, right? Most people don't meditate, so you can get the same euphoria off of meditating and doing drugs. You can release the same amount of dopamine if you get to that level of meditation. There's a reason the CIA spent so much money in, well, I ain't gonna get into conspiracy. Not only, the frequencies, but remote viewing is just a form of astral projection.
So could I dial it back just a bit, because there's a lot to respond to there. I think going back to traditional knowledge, that was really useful back in the day when you had nothing better. Like science right now has revealed a lot about like the true nature of reality, in my opinion, and I think we're even applying a lot of that successfully today. And there's not a lot of traditional knowledge that necessarily tells us how to like experiment with things, if that makes sense. Like maybe cooking.
But even like modern science, they was just trying to find a way to experience what spiritual people was practicing. They was trying to understand and explain it because they couldn't reach that level of spirituality. So they try to take a shortcut.
I wouldn't say all
Yeah.
scientists, but some,
I'm
sure.
not gonna say
Your mic is still terrible, Kieran.
yeah. You sound like
Whatever device you're on, just like reset it. Just reset the whole thing. That's my best advice. I do that every time I have mic issues.
Am I any better right now? Or am I still-
No, it's exactly the same.
Well, how do you know what I said?
It's
oh,
coming.
no.
How bad it is coming through great.
Okay, well, so Mel, I think that what you were saying. Well, here's a
Ozzy, you
phrase.
sound bad, bro. Ozzy, we can't hear you, bro. You sound muffled and mangled up, bro. You got to jump out and jump back in. Your Wi-Fi over there is
You're in the
crazy, bro.
matrix.
I'm not making fun of you.
I don't know if the neighbor's changing the password, but you got to come back, bro. That shit sounds crazy.
Ozzy was in the matrix. He'll be back.
Hey, and real quick for Wildheart, let me ask you something. It's just a simple question. Were you one of those people that you had to be? Were you told don't touch fire because it burns, or did you just touch fire because you just wanted to see if it was true?
Oh, do you mean like a stove?
Nah, it's like when you were young, growing up, they said don't touch the stove because you're gonna get burnt. Did you ever get burnt?
I can't remember doing. I might have done. I'm not sure. I don't know.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know.
But real quick with Melanie, it's a lot of things going on too with the information because you were talking about it, which is more vast now, but it's an oversaturation too, in my opinion. Right? People think they got the world found out on TikTok now with too many videos. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like there's an overload to a lot of people who are not privy to that, right? And that right there is a big problem too, because now there's a lot of disinformation and misinformation, and everything has a little bit of truth sprinkled in it. You know what I mean? So it's all about discernment. You got to be engaged, conscious, like wise, I guess, or be. You got to be on point at all moments, and when in certain situations, like because there's always chess, in my opinion.
I agree. And in my opinion, one of the best tools for that is critical thinking, where it kind of teaches you to at least question what you've just heard and makes you think twice about it. And I kind of wanted to respond to the CIA thing too, because I think there's more to that. Like the CIA certainly invested in research around brainwashing more because they wanted to see how accurate the Russians' claims were about their ability to do it. And I don't think they had anywhere near more success than the Russians did, which turned out to be none. So I don't think anything that came out of that we're seeing in modern day, aside from like lessons learned about LSD and how that works and stuff like that, of course. With what's really like captivating us, what's keeping us kind of like stuck in the screen, I think that's twofold. There's the neuroscience of like when I stare at a screen, it locks me in because it's putting me in a lower energy wavelength, literally brainwave, but I'm going to say wavelength just to get through that. And we can measure that, by the way. And on the other side of things is kind of like corporate sales and advertising that wants us to be pacified. So that way, when we encounter an ad, we're less likely to think critically about what's known as video sales letter. It's an actual technique used in more like especially in scams, but the general idea is always used in marketing. And there's also a form of marketing kind of expressed by Adam Curtis in his documentary, The Century of the Self, where they basically rob us of our identity growing up. They make it so like it's either fantasy as a kid or just something you'll never really be able to obtain. And then you go through school, you get crushed by that. And then they sell you back your identity through this. They say, you don't just need one coat. You need this coat for Thursdays, this coat for date night, this coat for a sporting event, blah, 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 because you want people to see you a certain way. And I think all of these things kind of wrapped together, to me, explains how we're so captured by the current system and its way of thought.
I'm just interested because so once you critically think, what's the next step?
Let me bring up the steps of critical thinking just because I'm terrible with lists in my own brain.
I would figure applying or or experimenting, right? Applying knowledge is useless if you don't apply it, period. You know what I mean?
And I understand the steps of critical thinking. I was just wondering, like, once you do that, because you said critical thinking is the best way to What did you say? You said I forgot. I don't want
To basically to have us like second guess possible misinformation or disinformation when that is super prevalent here on the internet.
Okay, so once you go through that process of critical thinking, what's the next step?
Well, can I just point out for a second, a huge component of critical thinking is checking your own biases, right? And I think that's one of the things that we don't do often enough. I meet a lot of people in this space where it'll be like, and I'm not looking to debate this. I'm just bringing up a personal example, like, oh, trans people are trying to invade bathrooms. And like, I'll tell them like, no, here's reason A, B, and C, why that's not happening. And you know, you'll never probably be actually targeted by a trans person in a bathroom any more likely than a normal person. And that should be good news. That's the key point there. Is it should be good news that trans people are not trying to target you. And I'm not like upset that they might think critically afterwards, but they'll get to the point where as much as I try to explain to them, they'll be begging me like, no, you're wrong. Trans people only exist to infiltrate our bathrooms. And it's like, okay, you don't even realize how badly you want to believe this thing you're afraid of, apparently. And that's when I know people in this space sometimes just do not check their own biases, and we get so like we're so much quicker to pick up one side of a narrative or another because of that.
Hey, word. Can I just say real quick? It's gonna be quick, man. I know I've been told, but Melanie, you said you didn't really believe, or you probably said that they didn't have much success with that program that Word was talking about with remote viewing, right? But even with the shit that you're talking about with consumerism, how all the corporations, everything flash images in our faces, you know, and create an impulse, you know, within us. You know that the AI is so strong and so well. This is allegedly, so I'm just saying from what I heard and what I've seen, that the AI is so strong that it can actually sense the dilation in your pupils to see if you're actually excited or interested in the ads that are being put on the screen at that moment in certain apps.
Okay, so there's a lot to unpack there, and I'm going to try to finish this with a question so you can give some clarifying answers.
To get to the point, it was militarized, right? It's like they have to put it through the military before they give it out to the.
That's sometimes true. Yes.
Well, I would think
most of the time too.
Right, most of the time, and everything we know is 50 years behind. If that's what they
You're
told me.
giving me a lot to say here.
I understand, but I don't want you to just stick to one. I'm trying to put it into a multifaceted point. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. But I know what you're gonna attack. Go ahead. I give it.
So I think that the pipeline you're talking about might have had some there might be like a trail of papers where one kind of research led to another, but I've never seen any technology that was proposed by researchers during MK Ultra make it to light. That's all I'm saying. In terms of the dilation of pupils thing, I should point out it's not really the strength of the AI. That's really more just image recognition type thing. You still need like a camera focusing on someone's pupils.
Well, your phone is a Fitbit now. Your phone actually is connected to you neurally.
And we're giving them a lot of information. I agree with
you. What you're saying? All right, I got you.
But the thing is with the military technology stuff, that specifically happens when the military funds research and development on a specific type of technology that they think will give them advantage in the battlefield. Not every technology that we have is a result of that. Lots of music type stuff, of course, didn't really have any application in the military. Maybe like the theremin does or something, but because that's kind of like radar. But the key point is that you got to look at things as sometimes developed in the private sector and sometimes developed in the military sector, depending on who was more interested in that technology at the time. During the 90s, a lot of private companies sprung up trying to develop new technologies for computers, and some of that technology was based off of military stuff, sure, but they were also developing their own new technology off of that, right? So it's depending on where you draw your benchmark, that new technology was also the thing. That's why I'm cautious about drawing direct lines from where we are now to anything the military developed, because there are similarities, but there's also NASA and their guidance computers for spaceships, not only built on previous technology that was used for missiles and stuff like that, but introduced entirely new computing technology we had never seen before. And then that became consumer available, right? It's a very nuanced thing is all I'm saying. And that's why I think I understand that it's exciting to believe that, but I don't think it's always accurate. And so my question is like, which do you value more? Do you value this narrative and like what it kind of answers for you, or do you value the accuracy? Because in my opinion, this is true maybe like 25% of the time at best.
So even okay, I'm not gonna get into that. I say this. It's like far as a lot of the technology we get from the military. I got friends in NSA. I got friends. I'm just telling you, a lot of it, even touch screens. I seen touch screens about 10 years before they came through, and they was unraveling letters. They was opening up sealed envelopes through scans and letters using touch screen. When they had it, they had gloves, but later on it came. We don't even have that technology yet, and I seen that in 2008, 2007.
I don't think I understand how they're opening physical sealed envelopes.
Physical, they scan it, and then on the computer they can open the letter. They can, if it was 3 letters he separated, he could read it front and back just from a scan.
You mean like they were shining a light behind it or something? Then you can see through it.
They scanned the letter in a machine.
Okay, scan.
Yeah, once they scanned it, they was able to read what was written in the letter.
Yeah, so they probably shone a light through it and that kind of thing. Like we have document scanners, right? They don't necessarily do what you're saying, but at the end of the day, like if you think about it, somebody was bound to think like, okay, I want to take a picture of this document. I don't always want to have to point a camera because there's so many things involved there. I kind of want to just put it into a dark space, and then if I can, just scan it line for line. And what do you get? You get a moving bar with a scanning element on it that shines a light on it. So you get like a perfect scan every time. It's somebody was bound to come up with that, whether it was the military or Bill Gates.
If I could, how's the mic, boys? Is it
Much
better?
Thank you, Kieran.
It has an echo when other people talk, but not when you talk. So you go ahead, bro.
Yeah,
We're being audio perfection here. How is mine?
Yours is perfect as usual.
Thank you.
I've retired to my makeshift studio, as you can see, rather than being on the phone. So, Melanie, I think you asked a question, but I kind of missed it. You were asking, would we prefer one or the other? I didn't quite get what it was.
Like, I think I'm just going to go ahead and also say what I prefer. I prefer accuracy of information I can rely on more often than information that's necessarily a narrative that explains the world quickly and easily for me. Because times I find like that can just be, what do you call it? A short
Occam's razor.
Well, yeah. There's also Occam's razor. We should also use that. That is a very good tool. But sometimes it can also be a shortcut to be like, oh, these things have similar patterns. Therefore, correlation must be causation. And I'm on a roll of thinking about how everything makes sense now. Humans are really good at that. It takes a lot more brain effort and time to like think about all of the variables and stuff like that at play and do research and stuff, which is why I think when you're scrolling TikTok, most of us don't. So my question is like, what would you prefer personally? Would you prefer a narrative that seems to explain everything at risk of it being more out of convenience, or would you prefer accuracy of information?
That's a really good question. I think what you're getting at is, are there useful lies? That's a great question. Theoretically, I would prefer knowledge and truth and honesty. I think we do better if we can engage better with the world, if we see the world for what it really is. But at the same time, we're complex creatures, and I think sometimes a convenient lie can help us along. I know I sound wishy-washy, but that's kind of where I'm at.
No, that got straight to the heart of what I was asking. Thanks, Karen. Does anyone else want to answer or have any thoughts? I don't want to be the only one talking. I feel weird now.
Oh no,
you love talking, Melanie. Come on, bro. Come on. What the fuck are you talking about? You love talking.
But I can acknowledge this isn't my panel.
Well, me personally, I like, and that's why I'm more of a practitioner. I mean, it's critical thinking is a process of just being aware of things to practice. For me, that's how I use critical thinking. It helps me understand which direction I should go. But a lot of times, like I've just learned from not only experience, but just information. It is constantly evolving and changing for a reason. It's because people are finding new things. We acquire new methods to even study things, but the one way we always get to the truth is through practicing, through experiment, through doing, So, I mean, it's cool to think, but that should just be a step towards applying.
A word. Stoic brought a point, right? He says sometimes you just have to hear it from other people, which is what I was gonna say. These think groups, these little little places, and I don't want to just say a church, right? But just whatever that might be to people where people congregate, right? Wherever people, a pub, exactly, where people congregate and share thoughts, share experiences, is a way to gain so much knowledge in life, right? Because you have it from 8 to 8, you have different levels of it, right? And then you taking in what you already have and you're just applying what you can think of or what you feel is right in your heart, right? Because at the end of the day, no one really knows, right? Because everything that we learn there's nothing new under the sun, right? It's all been force fed into us, basically, right? Conditioned or whatever it was, the way your parents put you up, how to be a man is all programming, right? It's all like boys are blue, girls are pink, there's a system to it, right or wrong.
Yeah. I by the way, I think we are coming to a new way of thinking where we used to think, it only works one way. But our internal beliefs don't necessarily tell us about factual information. That we realized that during the Enlightenment period. However, I think it works in the opposite direction too. Just pure cold hard facts alone will never tell us about the internal state of someone's mind. It is inherently too complex, too much of a black box to ever be described with human words, or probably, in my opinion, at least like digital AI.
But there's some people who are empath, like they resonate. You don't even have to you can feel it in your soul, if that makes sense.
No, that's what I mean. It's on I'm not a dualist. I'm a materialist to the core, but I do agree that empathy is something that it's almost impossible to communicate with words.
Yeah, but there's many ways of communicating without words too. There's body language. There's so much different ways.
The micro body languages that we don't even see.
Right, the nuances
and stuff.
Like I could probably tell you're mad just by your eyebrows, unless you got a bad barber. Then you know what I mean.
Oh, okay. So shocker. This isn't the real me. This is
that's fine. Everybody's cosplay. It's
internet. I'm just being silly. The whole point was to be
hang on, Mel. This isn't the real me. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I'm not really a fox Furby in real life.
Oh shit! My whole world, my whole paradigm has shifted. I
know it's very convincing.
Search bar got foxies on it.
I thought that was you. I thought you had green eyes and orange ears. What the hell, bro? You're fucking with my head.
I didn't even mean to trick anyone by making the mouth move, but I guess it's
that's a lie. You cool? My bad. I ain't even check the chat.
Mel, here's a question going back on what we were talking about before. Right? So about we think that I think we both agree that the best way to navigate reality is to be plugged into the truth, but the human condition is more complex than that, and sometimes we need convenient lies. Now, I'm going to say a very bland example, but I think it gets to the point, right? So, if my wife says to me, "Does my bum look big in these pants?" and I know the answer she wants is no, you look fine. Should I does that small lie start a cascade of lies that can lead to trouble? Is it better to just say, "Listen, girl," or should I say, "Yeah, love, they look fine"? Is there a problem right there at that base?
It should be facts. It should be always facts over feelings. If you want to be logical, it should always be facts over feelings. But in your heart, you feel like the right thing to say is that, and that's just the emotional part of you get involved. But honesty and sincerity would just say, "Nah, them shits make your ass look like a SpongeBob pancake or something." You don't want to say that though. You know what I mean?
Well, I try to be a bit more diplomatic. I go, those pants don't make the most of your assets. Something
your
like
assets.
That,
yeah. Right. There's always a proper way to say it too, where you can be politically
Make
correct.
her laugh.
Yeah, exactly.
Make her laugh every time.
Baby, I remember back you can have a way of putting it. There's always a way to break it down. You got to serve the medicine with some sugar to it. The truth is cold.
I think I have. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go.
No, you got it.
Go.
You got it. Be still just saying one with the truth if you're trying to feed it to people.
Yeah, I think I have a better example, and you can think about times that you've seen this in a movie, and I've been very sympathetic towards it. It's like someone's dying, and it probably happened really suddenly. They don't even know what's going on. They're like, my family's here, right? And then you don't want to say no, or like even better yet,
That's a good point.
they're like, you'll tell my family I love them, or my wife that I love her, right? It's like, you don't know who his fucking wife is. You have no way of figuring this out. But you say yes, right? So he can feel good as he dies, because what's telling him the truth going to do, right? Like, well, actually, I don't really know who your wife is, because you write it down on this piece of paper as you're also dying.
It's actually true. It's like, so is making promises to a person who's dying that you aren't going to keep, is that okay? If the dying person says, please do this for me after I'm gone, and you say, okay, I'll do that, but in your mind you aren't going to do it.
Wow, that's deep.
Is that a bad thing to do? Like, I know somebody who can answer this question. She's sitting right next to me, but I'm not going to pull her in unless she wants into this.
What's the question?
Okay, is it wrong to make promises to someone who's dying that you aren't going to keep? They say, please.
No.
It's not wrong.
No.
I'll put you on. I'll put you on mic over here.
Holy shit!
No. Hey guys. And Mel, how you going?
Hello.
And I forget the rapper in the right hand side, Racheal.
Yeah.
Hi, Racheal. My second husband was dying of cancer, and he found out from diagnosis to death was a year, and so within that year he decided he wanted to marry me, and he was in hospital, and he knew that his time was getting a lot shorter. So he said, when I get to Sinners at a hospital, let's get married, because I don't think I'm going to last to, the date that we thought. And so we did. And 2 days later, we got married. And he really wanted me to take his name. And I said I would. And then 11 days later, he passed away. So we were together for 10 years and married for
2 weeks.
2 weeks, not even 2 weeks. And I didn't actually feel bad for it, because I knew that would be something that he liked, but something in me just knew that it was okay.
Well, say for example, he said, please keep my motorbike.
Mm-hmm.
Don't sell my motorbike.
Mm-hmm.
And you said, I won't.
Mm.
But in your heart, you kind of knew it's no use to you.
Yeah, he had 3 motorcycles. He had an Indian, which was fucking awesome, a red Indian, and 2 Harley Davidsons. And
but at the point, is it wrong to promise that you won't sell it, even if you know you probably will? No, it's not wrong.
I don't think it's wrong. I don't think it's dishonest. I think it's
sometimes you say things to someone who's dying to make sure they're okay as they move on.
Yeah.
But we have to move on.
But then I have to live with that. So the fact that I didn't change my name, I felt bad about it for quite a bit. I had to live with that. But then I set that free. Same as selling a motorcycle or a car. I had to live with that what I'd promised, but I set it free because it wasn't anything. It wasn't worth the stress or the extra angst. And I know that I was doing it with a good heart.
You made him so much happier. Yeah, sorry, but you made him so much happier as he passed on, and that's, in my opinion, the greatest gift anyone can give someone who's dying.
Yeah, thanks, Mel. I think so too. And I wasn't being a bullshit cunt liar. I was just saying, okay, hey, but
well, that should be the last of his worries, right?
That's exactly right.
The last of his worries should be, what about my bike? Well, it was to him, but everybody else has to live. Well, this sounds so terrible, but we have to live on.
Yeah, no, it doesn't sound terrible. It's true. It's just truth, darling.
So, we'll get back to the point. Is a little lie okay?
Yes.
To make someone's life better?
Fuck yes. Yeah.
Well, Immanuel Kant would say lying is wrong every single time. So that's a theory. So that's theoretical versus practical.
Yeah, no, I
They say a liar is a cheater.
agree with her.
Sorry, bro. Go on.
Yeah, can just say that he's wrong. Like, you know, the Jews in the attic, the Nazis, lying isn't always wrong. It's sometimes the most.
Bro's coming in fucking hot.
Yeah, you
What
came
the
in
fuck are
hot.
you
You
talking
coming
about?
in too hot, bro. You went whoa. You went far left.
I don't think that was left.
Yeah, that probably wasn't left. You're right.
I thought you said that someone said that lying is always wrong. It's not.
Okay, yeah. So
Okay,
let's
let's
make
go-
it,
well,
let's make it
if
less
we can-
politically charged for a second. So let's say there's a murderer who comes to your front door and says, "I'm going to kill your husband. Is he home right now?" Right. So there's two ways to look at this. The good lie would be to say no, and then the robber leaves, right? But let's assume that you know he's going to charge in anyways and check. So he does, and then your husband happens to have run out, and then on his way leaving, he runs into your husband and kills him anyways. Would it have been?
Yeah. So what that means is the human condition is that we have to sometimes sin to be good, bro. That's Melanie. Why do you do me like this? so that means sometimes
you said that lying is always wrong.
Well, Immanuel Kant did.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. No, gotcha. Yeah. So Immanuel Kant was a virgin who never left his hometown. Okay, just saying.
Totally
Fucking facts. Yeah.
Totally
Yeah,
irrelevant.
which goes back to the point that me and Webb were speaking about before about experience, right? Experience matters. It matters a whole lot.
No, it's totally irrelevant as to whether he was a virgin and whatever.
No, it's relevant. It's way relevant.
He was either right or he was wrong, and he was wrong. Lying isn't always wrong. If you're talking morality, then lying isn't always wrong.
No, we're speaking about the difference between theoretical morals and actual practical living the life morals. Right? Go live your life, have a hard time, make bad decisions, fuck up, bring yourself back up, crawl out of the hole. You might have more valuable experience than Immanuel Kant, who sat at home all day and wrote about morality.
Yeah, but is it always wrong to lie?
No. And yes, it's always wrong, but sometimes you have to do the wrong thing to do the right thing.
Yes.
Yes, it's wrong. Yeah, it's always wrong. So if I have to spend 3 more days in purgatory because I lied to keep the Nazis out of the house, that's fine. I'll accept that.
And you don't care about the dead Jews?
What the fuck are you talking about, bro?
How we
went from if Nazis come to your door and say, "Are you hiding Jews?" Is it?
Yeah, I'd say no. I would lie, and I'd spend 3 more days in purgatory. I'll pay my penance for lying.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the Jews that they will kill if you don't lie.
No.
You're welcome.
He's saying he lied. He said he would lie. What did you talk about, bro? He just said he would lie. So what did you talk about?
So
even
it's
just talking
not
about
always
that.
wrong to lie, is it?
No, what he's saying, yes, it's wrong to lie, but I will do the wrong thing sometimes to do the right thing. Sometimes in life, you will do the wrong thing for the right thing.
Right, give me a minute.
You got to be careful with the words you
That-
choose. Remember the
Did that
monetization.
just fry your brain?
You trying to get him flagged with those kind of words. Those are trigger words that you're using, bro. Be careful, man.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, but you just coming in hot like that. Like, you know, it's kind of seen purposefully. Like, don't do that.
No, it's just a common situation, you know, a common argument.
Yeah. All right, cool. Just don't do it again. But yeah, respectfully though, the conversation was getting, you know, I think sometimes you have to lie, you know, like I've seen a lot of examples, like Stokes said too, you know, to keep someone, especially if they're about to pass too, like I think to ease the soul would probably be the best thing to do at that moment, you know.
Oh,
I think that's the best example, actually. That's the best example. Like because most of the things that we do, and well, you have to make a distinction, right? When someone's dying or has just died, you have to make a distinction between, are you doing this for the person who's dying or the people who are left behind? Right. So there's like a distinction there. So I kind of think it's okay to lie to someone who's dying, like Mel said, so they can be free. They can be. I'll live with the guilt. I'll live with the guilt that I lied to the dying person.
Yeah.
I will live with that.
Yeah.
But the person who died is going to feel free.
Yeah. So
That's all that matters.
It's because
Hey,
we
real
hope to
quick,
be.
y'all. Real quick, y'all. Let me shout out my boy Rich Martinez in the building. Hey, y'all go check out the cave. Hey, somebody drop Rich link for me, please. Thank
Yeah,
you.
shout out Rich Martinez. Salute. That's my guy from a long time ago, man.
Yeah, Rich is the man, bro. He be jamming in the cave. Y'all like music? Go check out Rich.
Yeah, good dude, great dude, man.
So it's not always wrong to lie, is it?
Yeah, no, I think we're all in agreement. And I wanted to point out that specifically with that one, I think it gets to us because we all want to be as happy as possible when we die. I have yet
Yeah,
to
Mel, sorry, Mel. I would say to Lionheart, it's always wrong to lie. But sometimes us humans find ourselves in a position where we have to do the wrong. I have to wear that. I will lie to a dying person to make them feel better, but then I have to deal with the lie. It's always wrong.
Well, then
I don't think it's always wrong.
I'll deal with it.
But then
it's only wrong to lie.
Because lying distorts reality.
I can answer that. So then you must think it's right. If you're willing to do a thing, then you must think it's morally right to do that thing, or else you wouldn't do it.
That's a really good point. That's a really good point. Yes, I think there is a greater good beyond the lie. Yes, but I will pay for it.
Also, what good is having a grasp on that, like such a tight grasp on reality, on the specifics, when you've especially if you've got like moments left to live.
What do you mean?
Like I said, like you're about to die, like in like less than a minute, and you just say to them, "You're going to tell my wife I love her," right? You just want to let that person go, feeling happy that their wife will know that they love her.
Yep. It's a sin. It's a sin you will commit to set that person free.
I don't think it is a sin because, like I said, there is no good in knowing the specifics of like, oh well, who's your wife again? Okay, write her name and number down, please. You quick.
Well, I think all I'm
hopefully.
saying is, yeah. I think all I'm okay, fair enough. Let's remove the word sin. You will pay for lying, but I'll pay the price. If you're dying and you want to hear sweet nothings, I'll tell you sweet nothings. And then after you're gone, I will pay the price, which is fine. Then, I'll do that.
But then that must mean that you disagree with God. If God says that lying is always wrong, and you're saying I will lie under certain.
When did God say that? When did God say that?
Thou shalt not lie. Isn't that one of the 10 Commandments?
Pretty sure it's not. No.
Thou shalt not bear false witness. I think it is.
Not you shall not bear false witness against God. Yeah, that's different from lying, bro. That's different. That's different from saying, "Hey, love, you look fine in those pants." That's a whole different thing.
I'll give you that. It is, but I thought your argument was that it's always wrong to lie.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, but does God think it's always wrong to lie?
How the fuck do I know what God thinks, bro? I know. How do I know what God thinks?
Yeah, call God and let's see what God says.
Where are you getting your morality from then?
From God, as best. Well, good question. Where am I getting my morality from?
Yeah.
I'll come back.
If you're saying
that's a very good question,
and you get your morals from God, it follows that God must think it's always wrong to lie. Sure.
No, I just said that's a really good question, and you kind of stumped me. I'm going to have to think about that a little bit more.
That's fine.
I believe there's many gods. Everybody has different beliefs of what God is to them and who He is or what He is. And that's the problem, is that everybody tries to think that when they say their God, you're talking about your God. We get into this little kind of a standoffish thing where like you can't tell me about my God, but there's probably a fact that person who's talking about their God is not even the same person you're thinking of with the attributes or characteristics. It's probably a whole nother. It probably is people believe in many gods at one time. You know what I mean? They don't believe in just one.
Well, I'll say this: if somebody would dare say, that's wrong because my God told me so, that's bearing false witness against God. Because how the fuck would you know what God
Yeah.
wants, right? So
There's a lot of preachers who do that for sure.
I know, man.
When I was
know.
kind of
It's
like
all good.
in my spiritual and scientific ways of thinking, because my mentor was starting to change the way I thought. I had like this notion that like God is like the nature of the universe, where you can think of it as one big thing or an infinite amount of infinitely small things. And so if we compartmentalize it as something that's like human scale, then we'll find other deities, not necessarily gods or whatever you want to call it, demons or whatever, but things that actually share interests with us. But as we move away from that, and you can think of this as angels as demons, or as I just think of it as like overseers, and then the macroscopic and the microscopic kind of like machinery, it becomes less and less kind of tuned to our reality and more divorced from what our individual will is. And that's
absolutely
that's how I
Just,
believe that ghosts and stuff for a while.
Can you say
Yeah, I feel you.
Can you say it was very honest in order to take time out to think about it? That I just want to point out that was very honest, was it? I appreciate that.
Lionheart, you don't understand how many people love you, dickhead. You got no idea how many people love you, right?
I'm like Wildheart cool, man. It's just I try to find the moments to take them seriously or not. You know, like I understand he
I take him seriously.
Sorry, I was just laughing
I take Wildheart seriously.
I was just laughing at the fact that you don't know how many people love you, dickhead.
Shut up, dickhead. Get the fuck out of here.
That's all I was laughing at. Sorry. I do appreciate it.
Yeah, no homo, shut up.
Wildheart, genuine question, because I am myself. Are you anything along the lines of diagnosed with autism?
I'm not diagnosed. I'm pretty sure I've got it, but I've never been diagnosed. No.
Welcome to the club, bro. Welcome to the club.
It kind of stands out to me in that kind of sense.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I am.
Yeah, that's why
I'm not an expert like at diagnosing people in any way. I haven't done any tests, so don't take my word for anything.
Yeah, no, I've never.
I mean, just I'm not even just from observing him for a while. It is that, and he is some other thing, not divulging none of his information, but it's some things going on, and that's why I'd be interested in the questions, because I think he's looking for answers, and he just don't know how to ask the right question. You know.
Wow, that's deep.
I just think we're all trying to hang on to reality, and we all do it in different ways. That's
we do it in different ways.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. Wildheart, we love you, dickhead. We love you.
Word, that right there, what you said, it kind of even humbled me, you know. For real. Like, you see, you kind of right to me when you just said that right there, because, you know, you are one who's interested in studying the mind, you know, studying humans, you know, the way they are and everything. And I didn't see it like that at first, you know. Me just being caught up and being in my little, you know, tunnel vision. I'm seeing as this is just a troll on YouTube and all that. And then even when Melanie asked him if he's on the spectrum, my son is nonverbal, you know. So at the same time, you know, with all respect, I would never ever come at someone or be just, you know, rude to them or. You know, but it's just I'm thinking that he's with the shits too at the time. You know, it's late night. So you know, so respectfully, if he is, and you know whether he's undiagnosed or not, then I apologize. You know, I didn't know where it was coming from. You know, I just thought it was like a persona or something. You know, but word, you know, like you kind of woke me up then, and you taught me, kind of put humility into me and made me humble. That was crazy. All in that matter of a second, like that fast. Just what you said sparked it inside of me. I had to let it out though, because I did check him earlier. You know, and I didn't mean about the other stuff he was saying. I meant earlier before that when we was conversating and about the butterflies and all that. I was kind of being rude, you know, like just being jokative. But now I understand when that hit me, it kind of made me feel kind of a way inside. So just to tell you,
Frankie.
I don't want to make it all about me. Just get.
Now it's on you, brother. Now you got all the light. Yeah, you better rock now.
So Frankie, let me put some sauce on this, right? So
there you go. Put that sauce on it.
My wife works with people with what's the language now? Disabilities, people who are challenged, You know,
Yeah.
people in wheelchairs, they're non-verbal, all that stuff. I've come to the conclusion that people with disabilities have the right to be the butt of offensive jokes, just like the rest of us. They love that shit. I've had old girls in wheelchairs who can barely fucking move flip the bird at me, and I go, "Whoa, you want to dance? Let's dance, right?" So I think we all have the right, no matter our capacity, we all have the right to be the butt of offensive jokes.
I believe that's
So,
true, though.
so you're
And-
talking about there being feedback, which I find interesting.
About what?
About there being feedback, right? Like you're paying attention to how they respond. Whereas I feel like, you know, I've heard from certain white comedians who use the same kind of logic, that they should be able to go into a theater of you know, all black people, make that joke, have none of them like it, and then go do it in a theater full of white people because they like it. And the thing is like, I think we have to be careful. Doesn't mean we have to be, you know, the police about it or anything, but we do have to be careful with how media representation works, right? How
Don't worry about media. So Mel, if a bunch of boys are on panel talking shit, like
Right.
talking complete smash talk, ripping the shit out of each other, would you like to be involved in that?
No, but that's where I agree with you. It is more of a media thing. And so where this matters is when representation matters, and that would be when other people are seeing that sort of stuff. If you want to talk about like having these discussions internally with your friends, then it makes sense. But sorry, Wildheart, I just want to land my plane on this one.
Sorry.
Where like I think the important thing is that we're not narrating over them incorrectly if it's a group that we're not a part of, because then, you know, that opens the door for prejudice, it opens the door for misinformation.
Yeah, Melanie, that's bullshit. I'm sorry, bro, that's bullshit. That's do you want to join in the smash talk or not? Right? It's as simple as that. Boys fucking rip the fuck out of each other all the time, and we would love everyone to be involved. Right? Come on in. We'll fucking tear you a new one. That's a sign of respect. It's a sign of respect.
Can you say it's fine to make jokes about people, but you shouldn't make jokes about people who can't do anything, like people in wheelchairs and stuff? That's big.
Like people in wheelchairs, flip me the bird, bro. Fuck those guys.
That's one side of it, right? But the other side is like, don't use a megaphone to get these points out.
That's the definition of bigotry. To have a go at someone for
No, it's not.
something
The definition of bigotry is saying I can talk shit about everybody except these poor little special people.
You're all looking
bigotry.
at this on the wrong side of the coin. This isn't about necessarily stopping bigotry. It's about the side of where representation begins and ends, and that's on the media side of things. So as big or as small as it is, we're media, right? And if we say something that's misinformation about a group of people, that could end up being harmful to that group of people. I'm not saying it always is, and I just think we need to be mindful. All I'm saying is that we need to be mindful.
Not really on an individual level. Not really on an individual level.
Kieran,
So
I'm
if I
agreeing
make,
with you.
if
Kieran,
I no, hang
Kieran,
on,
listen
No,
to my
hang on,
words.
hang on,
Listen
hang
to my
on,
words.
hang on.
I'm agreeing with you. Yes, it's not on an individual level.
Yeah, if I meet one of Katie's, hang on. If I meet one of Katie's clients in a wheelchair, they're non-verbal, they can barely see. All they can do is reach out and I stroke their arm because the sensation makes them feel good. I stroke their arm, and that flips a bird at me. I'm going to come back.
Can I just say?
Because they're a human.
Can I just say, you can take the mick out of people about everything. You will take out the mick out of normal people, but don't take the mick out of the things that they're disabled and they can't do anything about.
Yeah, because they're too precious, and get the fuck out of here. They're the same as me and you. the same as me and you.
Let me add this though.
The
Hold on,
same.
let me add this real quick. Let me tell a quick story. So earlier I was missing my chat, right? And I'm new over there. I don't really know everybody. And she was talking about evolution. And I had a cool ass joke, right? And I was typing it and I'm like, you know what? It's probably a bunch of white people over here. I don't know how they gonna react. So I'm gonna be respectful to her and her platform. I'm not gonna tell the joke. But when she came over here, because I know I have understanding with Miss Ahmad, I can fill her out. You know, if it's a joke funny, I don't feel she gonna be disrespected. So I waited till she came over here and told the joke, right? Would you like to hear the joke, Karen? I don't think you heard it.
Bro, I'm still getting over the joke you told me about the white guy who wished for the genie said I want to be hung like a black man. I'm still getting over that, bro.
So
why are you doing me like that?
So she was saying she wanted proof of evolution, and I said, well, the proof of evolution is white girls getting booties.
Well, hang on. Proof of evolution. That's racist, bro. What's wrong with you?
Can I just?
That's a compliment, bro. What is you talking about?
I'm not a white girl. You're complimenting me.
Can I just try and make the point? Like,
let me play this real quick. Shout out the money, bro.
Work out the money, work out the juice. 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 Work out the money, work out the juice.
Yeah, so Stoic said you got to call out the bullshit. You can only entertain ignorance for so long. How long does the debate go on before you concede to the truth? Right is right, regardless of your ignorance. Shout out to Stoic.
Yeah, I can just finish my point. What I was trying to say is, if you're going to call someone stupid like a mate, joking about, calling someone stupid, but you shouldn't make jokes about disabled people being disabled because there's nothing they can do about that. It's like racism. You shouldn't make jokes about something that they can't do anything about. Do you know what I mean? That's the point I was trying to make. That's bigotry and racism.
What if you encounter somebody? If you encounter like a disabled person making a joke about themselves being disabled, would you find that funny?
If they were doing it about themselves, that might be slightly different, but still,
let me just. I'm gonna devil's advocate this, and I just want to see what your thoughts are. If it's still funny if an able-bodied person makes the same joke, because you're still doing the same setup, same punchline. If you're doing traditional, in my opinion, it would still be just as funny. The difference is that you're morally against one and morally for the other. Correct?
But an able-bodied person wouldn't make the same joke as a disabled person because the able person wouldn't be disabled. So that wouldn't happen.
Okay, yeah. So I guess one would be first person, one would be third person. Sorry, the word.
Yeah.
So if somebody make a blind joke, should I feel offended? Because I'm disabled. I'm legally blind.
Well,
blind. I said blonde.
Yeah, I'm legally blind.
But are they blind? Is the person making the joke blind?
Yeah, I always make blind jokes.
No, but
that's all I do.
So if you feel like you're legally blind, then you're just less likely, it's not impossible, but you're less likely to narrate over your own group.
But I cannot see. I'm legally blind. That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
I saw
we must put value on our attention. It's the new economy. Your time is literally priceless. Facts, bro. Facts. I say this just for a solution. Read the room, man. If the people cool with it, then they cool with it. If they not, then let it be. I mean, I just think it falls into respect. Everybody different, bro. Some people will be able to roll with it. Some people ain't.
I agree with that. It's situational as well. If a disabled person makes jokes about themselves, then I think it's okay for other people to make the same jokes about them. It's situational. I'm not saying it's all. There's like one rule for everything.
I think the feedback is the most important thing. Kieran, I wanted to respond to what you said because I thought about what you said, by the way, and I do have a very quick response. I think if like your friends make those sort of jokes and stuff like that, and you genuinely find it funny, your friendship probably matters more to them than like the fact that they made one off-colored joke, right? So I think it's understandable that most people are going to be like, "Oh, you should cancel your friend," but also at the same time, like I don't think. I think we just need to normalize kind of like if you notice they're making a lot of jokes that targeted people, just ask them like, "What's up, man? Like, you don't got anything against these people, right?" Like, just kind of do like a vibe check.
No, bro, I make a lot of jokes about everybody, right? So that's the thing. I'm bringing you into my well. Here's a question. Can a black disabled person in a wheelchair be an asshole?
Yes.
Yeah.
100%. I've watched Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah.
Right. We can all be assholes, right? So
yeah,
like
sorry, can I just? That's what I'm saying. It's fine to call them an asshole if they're an asshole, but you shouldn't call them an asshole because they're in a wheelchair. That's
never done that. Never done that. No,
I'm saying that's
I look past the wheelchair. I look past the wheelchair.
Yeah,
and just
nobody needs to
you're an
defend
asshole.
themselves from a personal standpoint here, by the way, just to be clear, Kieran, because like this is about like the situation, the context of things. Nobody's going to accuse you of doing that or not doing that. We're saying the dividing line would be like if your joke relies on this person being in a wheelchair and they don't even find it funny, then who are you making the joke for other than yourself?
Well, here's a joke. I'll tell you a joke.
It not be about Furbies, damn it.
No, not about Furbies. Not about Furbies. Mrs. Markin's saying don't do it.
My girlfriend, her wife instincts kicked in. Her wife instincts kicked in. It's like, no.
Oh, y'all mentioned Furbies. Me and Worm met a real life gremlin.
Here's the joke. My girlfriend left me, so I stole her wheelchair. Guess who came crawling back?
That is a fucking dad joke.
Am I ableist? Am I an asshole for making a joke about that?
Yes, I will say yes.
I think he's gonna say, "What do you?"
Because it's specifically about them being disabled. If they were nurse,
you see, Wild Heart. Listen, Wild Heart. What you're doing right now? What you're doing right now is your tone policing. Your tone.
But you also made it about your
the word.
Can I point something out? Before we all explode, I just want to make sure I get this out here. It can be ableist, but it can also be funny, and there can be a moral right or wrong to it, independent of all those things. All those things are independent, right?
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
We're talking about
No,
jokes.
they're not.
Ozzy,
No,
you
they're
seem like
not.
a sport for a good joke. What do you call a Mexican? What do you call a Mexican and a pedophile fighting?
Oh shit, brothers.
Oh, speaking of which, sorry.
No, hang on. What's the answer? What do you call a Mexican and a PDF file fighting?
Alien versus Predator.
Oh my god! You see, bro. I'm still getting over. I'm still getting over the fact that the word told me the truth about the white guy who had a wish of a genie, and he said, "I want to be hung like a black man." Word, you fucked me up, bro.
Word, that was my fault. Word. I didn't mean to say the word, bro. I tried to I was gonna clean it. I messed up though. I got too excited. So Ozzy told a good joke. I had to come back with one.
Wildheart, just some advice. You're just gonna have to wait for the banter to end before you can interject with your
It's
serious.
not really banter though. It's kind of in our moment. Are you right? You're right.
Riaz. What up, Wildheart?
Oh, here's a, I'll tell you the shortest.
Yeah, no, if someone
No,
could
hang
let
on,
me
hang on,
know.
line Waldo,
Yeah,
hang
no,
on. Waldo.
Aaron,
just-
he waited
one
so
point,
patiently. Just
one
give him a
point.
chance to say something.
Yeah, if someone can let me know when I can make a sentence, then right, go on, carry on.
Do it now.
Yeah,
Do it
we're
now.
giving you the space.
Right, I have a racist joke.
Don't
If
say
every-
it. Please don't
This
say
is
it.
this is now. See, look,
Go on,
this
do
is,
it, do it, do it,
now see,
do it.
This is my only problem when people say I have a racist joke
Yeah.
because it's intent.
Oh, man.
then
It's like somebody
it
saying I'm not
shows-
trying to be rude, and then they go and be rude, like fully rude.
Yeah, but it's intent. Like this is racist. Like if you just tell a joke and it's funny,
he made a
it's
racist
funny.
joke.
But
I thought we could all.
but that wasn't a racist. I don't think that was a racist joke. It was
racist. I'm Mexican.
well.
It's not
Well,
racist.
let's hear it. Let's hear it. Let's hear it. I'm curious to see if it's racist.
3 guys walking the bar.
Yes.
Me too, bro. I'm so keen. Come on, Waldheart, do it.
Can I ask Frankie a question just real quick before we?
No, hang on.
I'm worried
Waldheart's
things are
gonna
going
do
to
it.
devolve. I'm worried things might devolve for a second. So I just want to, Frankie, let's say your mother was like, I don't want anybody to call me an alien. I think that's offensive, etc. Dehumanizes us. I don't know your mother. I'm not assuming she would. I'm just saying. Hypothetically, just let me fucking land my fucking plane.
I think that was an
Wildheart. Holy shit, dude. Let me ask the
Just
question.
want to say, Melanie, I got off the phone.
Dude, I
to
just
Hold
Fuck,
on,
dude.
Hold on, y'all. Let Melanie ask real quick. I'm interested to see what she.
So not to make any assumptions about your mother, but let's just assume she didn't want to be called an alien. Would you still make that joke about her knowing it would offend her?
Yeah, I would. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
to
me
you.
too.
I'm just a
Yeah,
realist.
every day of the
I'm
week.
not gonna lie. Most stereotypes fit the people that they're going towards. Like,
Can I just
I'm
not imagine doing that because I'm fucking white?
Wait, what do you mean?
See, the word got it.
Oh, I missed the joke. It was overhead. Sorry.
I'm very
But
sorry,
I don't
but
know.
a lot of people-
I don't know if you're trying to correct me. I was
Okay, look, I don't want Wildheart to bust a aneurysm. Let him go ahead. Tell your joke, bro.
And just to point out, I think 2 people asked me to tell a racist joke, and then Melanie came in with some esoteric, absolutely nothing to do with.
I want to hear. So who is it racist against first? What group of people?
Chinese.
Because you stated it's racist. So who is it racist to?
The Chinese.
Ah,
Okay.
shit.
Okay. There's no black people. I don't care. Go ahead. I'm joking. I'm joking, y'all. I like the Chinese people.
Hey, somebody got a vibrator.
So since Waldheart's lost his train of thought, the word, I'll tell you a racist joke if you want.
I've not lost my train of
So-
thought. I can't get a fucking word out for
Well,
you.
we keep trying to get you to say it, and you won't say it, bro.
All right. Wait.
Hey, hold on. Let Wildheart go. Go ahead, Wildheart. Let's see.
Right, the joke is, without being interrupted, please, just imagine if every Chinese person held hands around the world, half of the slanty-eyed fuckers would drown.
You said half of what?
Slanty-eyed fuckers.
And this is why I'm stuck in Mexico today.
The joke
Well,
didn't even
that
have.
doesn't even have to be racist, though. You can make that about like America.
What was the
too.
line? I didn't hear what he said. Can somebody?
It will
What
work
was it?
for anyone, yeah.
A bunch of
Yeah,
It's about their eyes. It's a joke about
yeah, Chinese. Yeah, Waldheart, I'll try to top that. So, the Chinese people, their skin's so tight they have to blink to have a shit.
Yeah, that was bad too. That was like a bomb. That's my last joke before I leave. Hey, real quick, I'm out. Word salute. It was great being on the panel with you guys. Rachel, you already know. Melanie, great talking to you. Ozzy, Wildheart, you're stoic, everybody. But this joke is gonna be tough. And if you're tough skin, I hope you guys don't hate me for this. But why did Jesus cross the road?
Oh shit.
to get crucified by the Romans?
No,
No.
he didn't. He rode the cross.
Oh,
See?
shit.
So fucking bailed. He bailed after that. The word. I came up with it, like, I blame you. Okay, so a couple of
Guys.
shows ago, you called me Big K and Katie, my wife, Little K.
Uh-huh.
Right? You said Big K and Little K. And
Big
I
K
thought to
and
myself,
Little K.
yeah, Big K, Little K. And I said to Katie, lucky our daughter wasn't called Katrina, because we'd be KKK. And,
Oh shit!
and I thought that'd be a bad tattoo to celebrate our family.
Hey.
Damn, this shit is crazy.
Also, you could be the three little K's, right? Papa K, Mama K, and Baby K.
Yo,
There we go. The KKK. That's fucking that. What could go wrong?
I have
Guys.
a white friend. His initials are first name, middle name, last name, KKK.
Oh
I'm
shit!
like, your parents did that on purpose, bro. He's like, you think so? Like, yeah, I'm pretty sure they did. I don't see how you don't. I don't see how you don't, bro.
Shit. Guys, make sure you go check out Frankie Blanco, especially if you're into beats and music. Yo, shout out to Frankie Blanco. Appreciate you for joining the panel today, yo.
Where did Commander go?
Oh shit, Morpheus took Commander too? Oh man, everybody is just see, I'm stuck in Mexico. I'll be back. Continue, word.
Oh no, I gotta end this. I got the kids early in the morning. I don't get to sleep.
Can I make one more racist joke against black people?
If you stop saying racist, look, this is when you it's when you say
I just got it.
Right.
Sorry.
It's probably raising some YouTube.
I'm gonna say it like a joke is a joke. If it's funny, it's funny, right? That's how I look at joke.
Thank you for having me tonight. I'm a wild heart off, but I can't handle another panels to be fun though. So I hope I'll be on again. See you around.
We totally deviated from the.
It's no worries.
We totally deviated, but y'all gave me a lot to clip up. We totally deviated. But I did get the first 10, 15 minutes of the AAA system. So if y'all interested in that, check out the first 15 minutes. But no, we rocking out.
It was just about black people stealing bicycles. It's not really a joke. I'm not really sure it's a joke. It's just a fact. Do you know what I mean?
It's just a fact. A fact where?
Hold on, wait a minute.
Black people steal bicycles for some reason.
Black people. So white people don't steal bicycles.
Some of them do, but more black people. I think
you get
more black people steal.
So they got statistics where they say black people steal more bikes than white people. Is that in the UK? Or is that in America?
Both, I think.
Yeah,
so black people all over.
I think all black people have a penchant for stealing bicycles for some reason.
So would I be wrong to say white? So would I be wrong to say white people steal land more than black people?
Still what?
Would that be a fact? Steal land.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
What about people?
Yeah.
Would it be fair to say white people steal people more than black people?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, so I guess it's
really.
okay for you to say black people
come on the
steal
word.
black.
Come on the word. White people didn't steal black people. They bought them off other black people.
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
No,
it's true.
I can't.
Steal them. They bought
So white people bought white people off of white people too. The Irish.
I'm from Northern Ireland. White people oppressed white people for 800 fucking years.
You can't.
But I would. You would have to say, even in that, you would have to say more white people bought more white people than black people. Yeah, I can show through history.
They bought them off white people.
But when you look at the Slavic slave trade, which is one of the oldest slave trades, that was white people selling white people. I mean,
but they
throughout history,
they bought them off blacks. They bought them off black slave traders in Africa.
Not the Slavic people.
Not the Slavic people, no.
Not the Slavic people. And
Yeah.
even when you think about, white people going around conquering land, they sold those people. And they conquered white land and sold them to other white people.
But the black
The word.
slave trade in
Well,
Africa,
the word. Who was the
that
first country
mainly
ever?
black people
Who was
for-
the first country ever to ban slavery?
To ban slavery?
Yeah, the first country ever who said slavery's wrong.
I think it was
okay.
I'm not sure.
Damn, I did a live on that too.
It was England.
It was about
England
200 years
themselves
before.
banned slavery, and beyond that, they said, "Let's sail the high seas and ban slavery everywhere." And America was the second country to ban slavery, and slavery had been around since the beginning of time.
About 200 years later, but you catch up eventually.
Well, I've got one more joke. I've got one more joke before I go. The shortest joke in the world: female cops.
You said the what?
That's my joke. Female cops.
Female cops.
Female police officers. Yes, biggest joke in the world.
Oh, cops.
Oh, shit. Yeah, I'm in English. I forgot my English for a second. What? Wait a minute.
Cops. Police officers. I thought you said female.
Rachel, do me a
That would be the shortest.
Rachel, do me a favor. Rachel, do me a favor. Make a rap about what's good about female cops. That'd be awesome.
Oh shit! Only Ozzy, shit.
I got you, girl. I got you, girl.
I'm gonna make a video with my mouth opening and fucking bats coming out. That's what I'm gonna do.
I was about to say I got a few badass female cops in my family, state troopers.
Yeah, not really.
My auntie was an undercover detective. My auntie went undercover.
Really, yeah, but not really.
She got I got a cousin. I can't say what she do, but she in the FBI. There's some badass female cops.
That's different. Doing investigations and stuff is different. But on the street, like walking the
beat cops.
Walking the street. Nah, bro.
Yeah, I ain't got no female that's beat cops, but I got one in the FBI, 2 retired. My auntie was a state trooper.
Although female cops would be the shortest joke in the world, surely. Because female cops are like clitorises. So surely female cocks would work better.
Well, what I'm saying is like a cop on the beat, on the street, will occasionally have to apprehend somebody. And if you have 4-inch nails and a ponytail, you ain't going to do that job very well.
No, it still doesn't matter. Female cocks.
Wait, what?
Wait a
minute.
Police. Female police break.
Wildheart been stuck on those all day. I'm about to log
right?
off. He started talking. He was on Miss Ahmad. I don't want to tell y'all. Got to go watch Miss Ahmad's earlier. Wildheart was tripping on there, bro. He was talking about. I'm not even gonna say it because he's gonna start talking about on here. I am about to log off before Wildheart get into his exploratory adventures of. I'm not even gonna say it. Oh, check this out. Hey, Mob, if Mob's still hey, Mob.
Can you
Mom, I need a.
What it was?
No, Mom, I need
before I go. I'm just going to say before I go, Wild Hunt. I have discerned. It turns out for some reason, some people love you. It's weird to me. It's weird, but not me. Fuck off, bro. But some people love you.
No, I think you're a cunt as well. Yeah, no, I know it's funny. But some people
it's the same reason people love Chucky. Okay.
Dead.
Just like chaos. Okay.
But over here, Wildheart's lawyer is commander. All right, so he's lucky because he got commander that got his back. Because everybody else, you got us stuck in Mexico.
I've got his back.
I feel like an ostrich with my head under the scene. Like, wait a minute.
Me and Waldhart have gone back and forth before. He's called me all kinds of names, but I've got his back. Ladies and gentlemen,
he shot out. Like he just
I've got to go.
I'm just
Rachel,
shit,
it's been great talking to you. The word much respect.
Much love, bro. Appreciate
Walt,
you.
I appreciate you too, bro. You have a great channel here. I kind of want to insult the chat, but I probably won't tonight. I'll just say.
If you don't, they gonna think something wrong with you, bro. Come on now.
Chat, you're a bunch of retards. Okay.
There we go.
Aussie, before you go, can I suck your cock?
Hey, no.
What? Oh shit! You see what I'm saying?
Oh, sorry,
Wait a minute.
I misspoke. I meant, can I
That
cook?
sounds dumb. Who created that? Oh, hell no. No, I'm not touching this.
I'm sorry. I apologize. I misspoke. I meant, can I cook your socks?
Wait, what?
Brother, what's that? What's that, brother?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Well,
Yeah.
right about now, did you have some Lucky Charms for dinner? Like, did you find the treasure at the end of the rainbow? I'm so sorry. Like, I'm logging off. Right now, he's giving me rainbow.
What the fuck is going on? What the fuck's going on, bro?
Hey, I would not allow one of my favorite people on YouTube to be SA'd by anyone, okay? I will not be doing Miss Little K any justice to allow Big K to be SA'd on here, especially by somebody who look like Mr. Bean. No,
Thank
that
you,
ain't going
Stapler.
down.
Olivia
I got you, Miss
Benson.
K. I got you.
Olivia Benson,
He's
come up
right
here.
here.
That's Commander,
Go
by the
on.
way.
You gotta say
Olivia.
something.
I just want.
He's calling
Aussie
Lil K.
has
He's
had
calling
some
Lil
washing.
K.
Aussie has had some washing. I just wanted to know whether I could cook his socks or they.
What the fuck? Wait a minute.
Bro, don't do that. What the fuck are you talking
Look,
about, bro? Shut up.
listen. Ozzy don't want you nowhere near him. Okay, I'm gonna speak for Ozzy. I'm gonna be his translator right now. Ozzy don't play that shit. If anybody need to cook socks or whatever you said, it'll be Mr. K. He got somebody perfectly fine to give him anything that he need or want. He good. You gonna have to find somebody else socks to do whatever you. Okay, look.
Thank you, Ed. Thank you.
Yeah, I got you, Miss K. Don't worry about it. I'm not gonna allow this unscrupulous behavior to happen towards my homie. Okay, no unscrupulousness.
I was offering to do his laundry.
No, he don't need you to do his laundry. No.
In the morning, so there were no.
Walt
Wait a
Hart.
minute,
Walt
word,
Hart.
word. Let Ozzy speak for
hang on.
himself. Ozzy, you gotta defend
Yeah.
yourself. Wait a minute.
Yeah, Walt Hart. Yeah, I'm just gonna say, Walt Hart. If you were black and in a wheelchair, I could almost forgive you.
That's better than
But
mine.
but you are the whitest guy I've ever fucking met. Like, you're whiter than me, bro. So I cannot forgive you for that.
Actually, if you were
I really
black,
can.
yeah, I would really love to cut your socks.
What? Oh, yo, listen, I need to have a conversation with Shia LaBeouf. How did Shia LaBeouf get saved by Jesus? Let me go watch that video. I'm out. Till next time. Yo, this shit is crazy.
Can I cut your massive, massive black socks?
Can you hear me?
Okay.
What up, nine? You got a donkey punch him. Hey, I want to know what's wrong. You got a donkey punch him. Donkey punch him. You got a donkey punch him. Mature conversation. You got a donkey punch him. That's the ADHD. Donkey punch him. Life happens, or you grow out of stuff, or what, just things happen. Donkey punch him. You gotta donkey punch him. And then people think that women can't be like the predator or the violent person in the relationship. Like, you gotta donkey punch him. Do something for malice. You gotta donkey punch him. Trying to send me across the border? Donkey punch him. Donkey punch him.
Yeah, Wild Heart just got donkey punched across the border. See, bro.
Oh, bro, I think he's a good guy. I think he is. He's just a bit
He
lost.
he got issues, bro. He got issues.
Yeah.
Man, I seen
Can I
some things.
just say,
And, I ain't gonna call nobody out on that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna, kick nobody when they down. But he got issues. He got some stuff he got to deal with on different levels. But
yeah,
I ain't
I
gonna
think.
kick him down.
Hey, I think I forget who pulled out the autistic kind of word. But I'm not a genius, but yeah, I'd agree with that. And I think possibly Wildheart would agree with that too. So he seems to see things really just black or white. And but he's searching and he's wanting meaning, and he doesn't know how to do it the right way because obviously no one's told him how to talk to people and how to, have those conversations. So I think what we're doing here with him is really fucking magical and really giving him some meaning and giving him some space to talk and loving him and pulling him up and letting him know, what's appropriate and what's not.
Well, I'll tell you, in the modern world, the best way to fuck somebody up is tell them you love them.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that weird? You can go, hey, bro, shut up. We all love you. And they shut down because what the fuck? Somebody loves me?
Because they're so used to fighting and, putting up this.
Hey, Kay, look in the private chat real quick. And, I seen that and I'm like, I knew from there, like, okay, it's deeper than what we see. This is just surface level stuff. So when I seen that, and then it was a couple other interactions, I'm like, we see surface level, but it's something deep. And like you said, man, I don't be, I don't judge nobody or just kick nobody when they down. I try to help as much as I possibly can. And you get people straying, but after a while, if you don't see no improvement or no change, then at time I'm just speaking from like I deal with like addicts in real life. I deal with people transitioning from prison to home. And it's like I be trying to help people, but after a while, you helping them will hinder them or it'll pull you down. So it's like understanding that balance. Yeah, understanding that balance right there. So I'm always give people that rope, not to hang themselves, but to allow me to try to pull them up. But once they start pulling down, then I gotta let go. But
There comes a time when you've just got to stop and say no.
Yeah, I just saw your message in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I missed that.
Yeah, that was wild, bro.
But that's all right, it'll hopefully work itself out.
Well, there's a
but it's
distinction
good to
between
know that.
There's a distinction between helping and enabling.
Yeah. That's that balance. And see, because you're into psychology, so you get to that point. You know what I'm saying, where you got to distinguish the difference between helping and enabling people. And sometimes it's hard, bro. But it is what it is. You just gotta accept things for
It is hard, isn't it? Because you just want to pull everyone in. You just want to put everyone in and cuddle them and love them and tell them, I believe in you and I'll help you through this. But shit, you'd be you'd be doing a disservice to yourself because you wouldn't be looking after yourself. You'd be looking after everyone else. And
Oh, Baba, we about to shut down, bro. We're about to shut it down right now. I'm about to shut it down right now. We'll let you up next time, brother. But I have to take my behind to sleep. I apologize for that. But y'all know what I always say, man. You want to close it out real quick or say something before?
I just think I think there's something good in everybody.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us on.
Yeah, thanks, bro. Respect,
much respect. No problem. Yeah, Baba, I know if I let you up, we're going to be up here another 5-10 minutes. I apologize. I'll try to come on tomorrow. Come and hit the link. I'll let you up. But I am getting my behind off here. Y'all know what I always say. Care about how you feel. These are the conversations that run nations. And if I say anything that resonated with you, Do me a favor, hit that share button, tell somebody, help me spread the word. But until next time, we out.
Thanks, Word.
Respect.
No problem.
Sweet dreams.
Appreciate you, Miss K.
See you, man.